in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand. Call
Call 911 Magila. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Oh, he got a commercial. He got a commercial. Well, just wait because I get some exciting news about a certain platform that we're on. Yo, why my lights turn off, B? Come on, B. Oh, snap. Did you go out? We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out. Oh, come on, bro. Really? Ooh, looks like those lights are a little touchy. Hopefully, it doesn't cause a fire. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. We have a very, very exciting episode tonight with some drops, with some drip. Yes, I got that German safety heart, German raindrop safety Habe hoodie, and boy, I cannot tell you, I cannot wait to tell you all about this thing. It is probably one of the dopest, warmest, most comfortable hoodies that I've ever bestowed my Lord's temple upon. Or no, it's my temple from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. It's awesome. Can't wait to tell you all about it. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, we have a really, really exciting guest. Secondly, you guys have probably seen him in the comments. You've seen him on the Tactical Turkeys. You've seen him here, there, all over the place. He's got a channel on YouTube, and also we got some drops. We are dropping some stuff tonight, and also we got some pictures. Some people submitted some pictures with some DLD merch and a build. Some people submitted pictures of them fishing with some DLD merch on. They got all sorts of cool stuff. So it's awesome. And we may just have some new exciting stuff that I'm not exactly ready to talk about right this second, but it may be something that you've seen before, just kind of a different version, one that's a little more weapony mounty ish. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So first off, let's greet who is first this evening. T for Tejas, my guy. Congratulations on being first. I always go in between, like, do we do a high five, right? Do we do a fist bump? Do we do a salute? So I think I'll hit you with an '07 first, and then let's just do a little fist bump. All right, let me know when you're ready. All right, let's do this. All right, ready? Great job, man. Congrats on being first. Also, T for Tejas is a channel member. My guy, I salute you. We got Kurt24 in the building. And of course, he said, congrats on being first. But we all know he was in there lurking, waiting. He actually created the stream this evening, and I was waiting on him to let me in. So I don't know if you all know. Let's see what other channel members. So for everyone here, if you're here for the first time and you don't know how we do things, what we do is we take a moment out of our very important busy schedules to greet all of our channel members first. Okay. So for the next like 10 minutes, we're literally going to be saying hello to all the channel members and also to all the honorable mentions, if you will. So let's go ahead and get started. So we got T for Tejas, who's a channel member. We got Kurt24, who's also a channel member. We got Blue Curtain Burner. What's up, brother? Now also pay very close attention tonight to the links that Kurt24 is going to be dropping, okay? Because there may be some new stuff out that is in very, very, very short supply, even less supply than last time. So, last time when we dropped the blue goon beams, they literally sold out like that. And then for the weeks to come, I had people hitting me up like, "Dark, how do I get one of those blue goon beams?" You know what? Just pay attention and stay here hanging out tonight. All right. Blue Curtain Burner, what's up, brother? Also a channel member. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We got Zanty Misfit in the building. What's up, Zanty? Good to see you. Also a channel member. We got Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. What's up, fam? Also a channel member. And we got, of course, who could forget? Crashing Rich in the building. Also a channel member. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming and hanging out as well. Let's see. Kurt, Zanty, Rich. We got Ting Ting in the flesh. My, how I love your fleshy bits. Ting Ting, great. I'm sorry, I'm inappropriate. Ting Ting, great to see you. Princess Kicking Butt, aka great to see you. We got Prepper Book Club in the building. Prepper, great to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We got Mock Tucka, Mopka. Ah, man, Mark Zucker's been around for a minute, man. I think he originally came from the roast, then he came from the roast over here, and he's just, been here since then. So great to see you. We got Drew. What's up, Drew? Good to see you. Also a channel member, double XL channel member, like top tier. Appreciate you, man. Let's see who else we got. CT Tejas. Princess KB. We'll just call you PKB because I feel weird when I call you Ting Ting and no one knows that I'm talking about you. We got PKB in the building. ADXR 920. Surprisingly, what also is literally in my pants right now. An XR 920C that I think I got, back up and running, and I didn't clean it, didn't maintain it after breaking it down and racking it like 10,000 times. I think I polished out that burr on the back of the rails. So I'm at 650 rounds through it, no cleaning, no maintaining, no nothing. I'm going to take it back to the range and just keep running it until it fails to see if the Shadow Systems hype is really worth it. It's not. I don't think it is. I don't know. Honestly, the only thing it's really got going for it is the ergos. I think that they have too many lemons, but I will say, if you get a Shadow Systems that is not a lemon, that thing is a truck. It's awesome. It's great. The DR920P, I could literally shoot through the same hole like magazine after magazine. It's incredible. And then also like the XR920C, the XR920 Elite, those have been great too. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But ADXR920, I think of my Shadow Systems every time I see your name, and I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you. Princess Geeking, but I see somebody just gave memberships too. So whoever did that, thank you. Hang tight, and I will get to that comment in a second. I'm just super far behind on on chat, so hang tight, hang tight. Let's see, Zanty, ADXR 920. We got Drew, Mark Tucker, Joe Morris. What's up, Joe Morris? Good to see you. Also a channel member, my guy. Let's see, Blue Curtain Burner. See, Kurt 24. Joe. Hey, there he is. Live life. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Also, a channel member. Channel member. Pepper Book Club. Kurt 24. Zanti. Blue Curtain Burner. Oh, did I miss somebody? There he is. Fire Rodder. What's up, my guy? Good to see you. Also, a channel member. Not my name. What up? Good to see you. See, I love you. This is what's so great. Every time I come in here, I always see the same usernames like and I get excited to see y'all because you guys, the channel members are like my top 100. Like y'all are like the people that are always here no matter what, and I appreciate it. And y'all are also usually the funniest mofos in chat. That's why I always remember your usernames. Plus, they're huge and green, so that helps. Marconi, what's up, bro? Bro, I have not. I went to Marconi's website and I was just like, what's a way that I could support him and not, also like dump like a whole buttload of money. So I went and I bought Strike Industries EMP for 19 off there just to show them some love. We all got to take care of each other as much as we can. The building community is less than 3% of the industry, ladies and gentlemen. So we got to support each other. And if I'm dropping 20, 25 bucks, I would rather spend it with somebody who is also contributing to the building community. So I'm just saying. Let's see, Kurt 24. We got Fire Rodder. What's up, Fire? I think I already said what's up to you, but it's all good. Fire Rodder. We got Tech Money. Chinamemba. What's up? Good to see you. One of the soldiers. What's up, soldiers? Kurt 24. PKB. Not my name. Tech Money. Hey, there he is, the goon, Mike McClune. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Also with Chinamemba. Silverback. What's up, fam? Also with Chinamemba. Let's see, Kurt 24. Anti Misfit. Let's see, PKB. I'm just going through. Hey, there it is. Look at that. Kurt 24 dropped that link. So we're going to talk about this before we start the show. But this is the hoodie that I'm talking about. This is the hoodie that I'm wearing right now. And when I run through, I have a couple times, but it was before I actually had it here physically in person, bro. Blew me away. Blew me away. Wait till I show you guys this hoodie. Y'all are gonna love it. Let's see, Zanti Misfit. Hey, Murphy's Law. There he is. What's up, brother? 9mm gang in full effect. Yes, get that 40 out of here, bro. Jason Ewing. What's up, Jason? Also with Chinamemba. I appreciate you. Hopefully, we got both of the Ewings up in here tonight. Fly Rich. Fly Rich. Kurt 24. Let's see. I'm just rolling through. Jason, Prepper Book Club. Let's see. Silverbacks, Anti. Let's see. Oh no, that's Jason. Okay, hold on. I'm catching up slowly but surely. Zanti, PKB, Silverback, Joe Morris, my guy, representing West VA. I love it, man. I would love to move out to West Virginia, man. Get up out of Virginia. See Jason. Hey, look at that. John Crump live member for 27 months, bro. What? That is insane. And of course, he gives this profound message. Hi. Thank you, John Crump. Great to see you in the chat. Shauna Memba. What's up, Shauna? The other Ewing. I appreciate you coming and hanging out as well. Let's see, Purple Book Club. Let's see, Jordan Vinro. What's up, fam? Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. I think I said what's up to you, but it's all good. We can do it twice. Jason Ewing with a member chat. Crumpy Poo. What up, buddy? Member for 14 months, man. Y'all are some committed mofos. Straight up. I couldn't do this without y'all. For real. Dang. Okay, so ADXR 920 gifted 10 DLD After Dark channel memberships. That, my friend, gets a rock on right there. Yo, bro, I appreciate you so much. ADXR 920, man, that's huge. I can't log. Actually, you know what? Maybe I think I heard Kurt hit me up real quick. Let's see if we got. Hey, there he is. So let's see who got. Sandwich chef of effing sandwiches was gifted a membership. Wired Tight was gifted a membership. Awesome. Toy Town Inc. was gifted a membership. Moose was gifted a membership. Logan Curl, Ed Zachary, John Doe, all of them. I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I missed a few, but it's all good. Yo, thank you so much, ADXR 920. I honestly, dude, you guys, I'm sure most of you know, but Oh, shucks. Um, you may or may not know, but this channel has become exclusively viewer funded. And you can thank the platform that we are on right now for that. So ADXR 920 doing things like this makes such an impact for real. I really appreciate it. So thank you. Let's see. Jason, Zanti, ADXR, not my name. Hey, Johnny Propane. What's up, Johnny Propane? Good to see you, bro. Also a channel member. Kurt, ADXR 920, PKB, Murphy's Law, Fire Otter, Silverback. Let's see. And for everyone out there, you know that if you go and click on the little super chat symbol, you can actually click to accept gifts to where people can give you a channel membership when people gift channel memberships like that. So if you haven't done it, that is how you receive it. It's so funny because people actually hit me up and they're like, "How come I don't get channel membership gifts?" You just got to click accept gifts. I'll be doing something somewhere else, and I'll get an email that says, "Check out your 2AEDU gift," because people just give memberships away here and there. That's how they support the creator, but also give back to the community here. And yeah, all you have to do is do that. Okay, so Live Life. I think you said what's up, Live Life. Great to see you, brother. Also a channel member. Let's see, Tech Money, Kurt 24, Shauna, Princess Kicking Butt, Mark Tucker. And I think, hey, there he is, Lightning McQueen. Good to see you, my guy. Lightning Scott, Joe Morris, PKB. And let's see. Oh, there he is, JH. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Moose 47. What's up, brother? Moose 47, channel member. JH, channel member. And let's see. Barton Fink, there he is. What's up, brother? All right, so we've hit all the channel members. Of course, we got P38 Wilberto. We got Sabar. What's up, fam? Yo, if you've not seen the pencil pouches that Sabar is making, he is killing it. I love it. Damien, my brother in Christ. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out as well. We got Mr. Bush. Good to see you, bro. Let's see. G23. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Let's see. I'm just going through. And of course, we have Gerchop. Gerchop, if that's really you, what do they serve in Rikers Island on Wednesdays for breakfast? Otherwise, I don't believe it's really you. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I actually don't know. Silver Dollar Pancakes. 3 of them. Name that movie. Okay. Let's see. Damien. Jordan Vinro, my guy, Jordan Vinro. Great to see you. I have an idea. So we're going to talk. I'm not going to do the thing tonight, but I am going to do the thing soon. And I want you to be a part. Well, I mean, you don't need to like come on or anything, but I'm going to fill you in on what I'm going to do and how it's going to be great for the community. It's going to be dope. Everyone else, thank you so much for coming in. I can't scroll all the way back and see everybody, but I'm grateful for every single one of you guys that have come in and come in and hung out there, come in to hang out. And thank you for your time. Wired Tight, my guy, good to see you as well. Everyone else, if I missed you, my apologies, but I'm grateful that you're here. Mike Hen, fam, what up? Duke killed Light. He gone forever. Bro, Light's still out there. I wouldn't be surprised if Light is literally watching right now. Light, my guy Cliff, if you're out there, say what's up, man. I hope you're doing okay. I talked to him not that long ago, bro. He's alive and well. He's kicking. Uh Oh, Rikers. Okay. Prepper Book Club, you can get it at DLD Hardware. Okay, I've kept the guests waiting way too long. My apologies. And I'm finally setting up hey, Strap Check. We about to do that. Real quick. So I'm finally setting up DLD Hardware to where it's set up. I kind of had to jump in the middle of it to come on the stream, but it's like jigs, tools, merch, Goom Beam flashlights. Oh, I shouldn't say anything yet. Sorry. But yeah, stuff like that. So it's a little bit better instead of products, featured products, bestsellers. Like what? What? Who would sip? And then all the same stuff is in the same. Like, bro, come on. It's. I usually like things being what's it called when redundant, right? Redundancy is important. Redundancy is important. Redundancy is important, but not like that. Not like that. Anyway, Kaba, what's up, bro? My bad. I forgot to silence my phone, man. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Um, you can jump in, bro. Oh, share that link. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Give me a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead. Kava, good to see you. Let's go ahead and get started. So, if you guys have been around for a little bit, it's likely that you've seen. Shout out to the guy that's going to say, fast forward to 20.01 when the show starts. Thank you. Anyway, if you've been around for a minute, you've likely seen, whether here or with the tactical turkeys, all over the place, you've likely seen your boy, Red Dawn Readiness, who, yes, I've kept him waiting backstage for 20 minutes. And I'm sorry, but it will be worth it. It's going to be a great show. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're into homesteading, if you're into shooting, if you're into carrying, if you're into why are my lights doing that, bro? Anyway, RIP to that one. I'll just stand over here. Anyway, and if you can find what prints are in the background, then you win. Uh, probably, you really just probably win bragging rights. But anyway, if you're into homesteading, if you're into GATs, if you're into building GATs, if you're into improving your draw time, if you're into that beep gun, like sub 1.25 draw the first shot, then you very much would like our boy, Red Dawn Readiness. What's up, bro?
What's going on? How's everybody doing? Appreciate you having me on the show, Dark.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I wish I would have thought of it earlier. Sometimes, I'm just running around crazy, and I'm like, oh, yo, it's Tuesday. I'm like, oh man, I don't have a guest. Who can I bring in that it'd be good for everybody to have on? So, for the people that don't know who you are, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Cool. So yeah, my channel is Red Dawn Readiness on YouTube. Started my channel a few months back and really just wanted to start putting out content, basically an appreciation for all the content creators that I've learned so much stuff from over the years.
Mm,
Prepping has always been a big part of my life ever since about 2017. Then
okay.
had my first child and got really into tactical training and
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just dived into being able to defend my kids, my house, my family.
yeah,
I always had straps with me, but just didn't train the way I probably should have, which is
yeah,
probably the norm for a lot of people.
for sure,
um
for sure.
yeah, I mean, so my channel is really just about homesteading, tips and tricks for training, gun building, uh, current information going on, just really whatever's going on in my head, and just kind of an expression of my personality.
Hell
And
yeah,
yeah,
that's what's
see
up.
where it takes me.
What was it about 2017 that made you say, all right, I need to get into more into prepping or training and those kinds of things, kind of honing those skills?
I guess it was how chaotic the 2016 election was, really.
Mm,
I just saw like the two sides starting to become super polarized
yeah,
and the hatred for each other. And I was like, well, I don't think this is going to do very well going forward. And
yeah,
turns out it seems like it's just gotten worse. So,
yeah,
really, I think that's what it was. It was that 2016 election, and each side just got, especially like, I mean, Republicans have always kind of, I feel like even now, like if you're on that side or you vote that way, I feel like those people really haven't changed at all.
hmm,
But the Democratic side, I just feel like has got like extreme hatred for the people on the right. And I feel like that's not going to lead anywhere good. So,
yeah. It's an interesting thing. I don't think I can isolate it down to like one particular thing or instant that it was for me that was like, all right, I need to make sure I got, water, food, shelter, security for me and my family. And because I've actually been, and I say this, it's embarrassing. I've been prepping for, and I hate to say prepping, but um, I've been living that lifestyle for a long time, probably over 10 years now. And it's kind of sad at how not ready I am, right? I
yeah,
don't think anyone could ever like be like for real ready unless you've built a self-sustaining um
like,
ecosystem
yeah,
in a homestead.
and a bunker.
Yeah, yeah, for real. And yeah, I mean there's just so much because you're prepping for all the different potential incidents. But I think the thing that really hit me when it was like, okay, I may do some stuff passively here and there to prepare, but I think the thing that really, really hit me the most was um, probably around the same time, like 15, 16 time frame. Um, what are almost every single like civil civil type war fought over?
Um, Really,
Have you-
I mean, if you think about our first Civil War, it's whether it's like with states' rights versus the federal government control. So it's really just overreach from the federal government to my like what I could think of.
Yeah, and yes, and it really it could even be boiled down to like a difference in ideals, right? These people think,
Ideologies.
yeah, this people think something should exist. These people think something shouldn't exist. They think it's right. They think it's wrong.
Yeah.
How many civil wars were fought due to religion, right? And Muslims killing Christians, Christians killing Muslims, and these people, Buddhists killing these people, and all these different religions that probably weren't the best example. I was just throwing some stuff out, so nobody get
Hmm.
mad at me, all right? But like. It's generally speaking, it's ideals and
Hmm.
it's people that have a different a different values, a different perspective, and all of a sudden, it's something that they disagree with, which becomes something that they whether they're extreme in their beliefs or not, they're prepared to kill and
Yeah.
or die for it, right? And I think that like you're saying, when you started to see people on whatever side, right? Because I hate the whole right and left thing, and people think it's this like horizontal line when really it's a circle, right? Like you go
Hmm.
far enough right, you get left. You go far enough left, you go back to the right. It's
True.
two heads on the same serpent. Um,
And there's a video. I don't know if you saw it on my channel
mhm,
where like there's a woman. She was like a specialist, and I put up a clip from her TED talk. She was a specialist in why civil wars start.
mm,
And what she basically said was that um, a group that's been in power a long time and then falls out of power or falls out of being the majority in that society is
mhm,
like the number one reason why civil wars start. So,
mm,
like an ideology that's been prevalent a long time, and then another subgroup comes in with a new ideology and
yeah,
finally becomes more majority than them. And that is like one thing that instantly starts civil wars.
yeah. That's a good point. So Farmer James, what's up, Farmer James? We only had one civil war in the USA over the states, right? To what? I don't understand. I don't think. Are you joking, or I don't know if he's serious. Um, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that really everything goes back to a difference in ideals and disagreements. And when you see, um, all of a sudden it went from like when I grew up to where, and I've talked about this before, like you know, growing up, my family always said there are three things you don't talk about. You don't talk about religion, politics, and money, and amongst mixed company, right? You talk about those things at the dinner table with your family, right? But it's you just respect other people. Like you don't bother them. You could still love your neighbor, care for your neighbor, do whatever, help them, contribute to them, and all that. But you don't walk out and be like, while y'all are getting your mail, be like, howdy neighbor, what are your thoughts on abortion? Like,
Definitely, definitely.
yeah, it's but I mean, I'm not saying these things aren't topics that should be discussed. I'm just saying that, like, for the most part, it was like a decorum thing, right? Like it was
Yeah,
um, you know. But anyway, all of a sudden, you start seeing that those are the only things that are discussed. Those are the only things that are talked about,
yeah,
and you know, you see usually it's people of opposing thoughts from people like us that believe in freedom, independence, and liberty and all that. Usually it's people of opposing beliefs that all of a sudden it's not just, oh, I disagree with that. It is, you are disgusting, you are racist, you are fascist, you are, and then you
yeah,
you immediately bring those people to the lowest form of existence.
like dehumanizing them in your mind,
And
which is
why
is
would a
also the first
government?
step that you would do in a war.
Yes, that was literally on the tip of my tongue. That it
Yes,
was
sir.
that's exactly what they do in in any kind of combat situation. Is they showcase that these people are less than human. So I don't know.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on all that?
Um, let's see. I had something on the tip of my head, but one thing that I heard that has kind of stuck with me is that almost every topic now that you can think of in your mind has become political. So
Mhm.
certain
Yep.
things that weren't political before, like how you feel about childbirth or how you feel about your medical treatments or how you feel about your education or how you feel about literally everything, even sex, like whether
Mhm.
I'm a man or not, is become political. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And almost every thought that someone can have, the government has gotten involved
Mhm.
and they talk about it and make it so that way they can argue about these things, which will just cause people that didn't even know they had disagreements or would normally never have talked about them to like
Yep.
like vehemently just not like each other because of those thoughts.
Yeah. And then you take a time where we have like this. I always got to give credit where credit's due. This guy, the safety doc, he has a channel and he has a bunch of great content, but he uses a term, the velocity of information, right? The speed at which information is delivered to us is insane, right? Especially
Yeah.
with phones and devices and all that. So now you're getting way more information way more quickly, and it's delivered to you like that. And now it's from crooked media companies that are throwing all this shit in front of you, and like you're people that are really they're a victim to mainstream media, they're a victim to headlines, and they're a victim to themselves for not researching
Yep.
anything. It's easy for them to fall in that spot of you know whatever, like when people can't even answer the question of what is a woman. That's insanity right there.
Insanity.
Mhm.
I was gonna add something before I forget. So, like in 2017, I don't know if you remember this, but there was something called the Great American Eclipse.
Mm-mm.
So in 2017, there was an eclipse that started in like Salem on the West Coast, north, and came all the way across, like the shadow of the moon came all the way across, and it exited in Salem on the East Coast, Salem to Salem.
Mm.
And 7 years later, which is 2024, there's the completion of this great American eclipse that starts from the northeast and goes across and makes an X right over the United States,
Dang.
with the shadows of the moon. And in 2017, there also was the star alignments called the Revelation 12 sign.
Okay.
And it's like if you read the beginning of Revelation 12, it's like where certain star patterns align, like
Mhm.
the moon is underneath the feet of the virgin and all this stuff. And like through using a program called Stellarium,
Mhm.
a lot of people were following that. And it just, I don't know, there was like a lot of stuff like that that just made me be like, I need to turn prepping into overdrive mode.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, it's interesting, man, that, a lot of people, are saying that the elites, the people in control, like, whatever you wanna call them, right? Some people call them other things, but, we'll say the people pulling the strings. You know what? Actually, I don't think we'll ever know or meet the people that are, like, for real pulling the strings. So let's call them we'll just call them elites for the sake of, the conversation. Um, a lot of people say that they are using um uh what's it called, astrology, is it astrology, like the positioning,
Astrology.
yeah, like the because I was thinking of the which call it when people are like, oh, I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Cancer, but it's
Yeah.
it's um I'm trying to think of the quote. It was
I think it says like millionaires use something and billionaires use astrology. I forget
yeah,
what the first part was though.
millionaires use the stock market, billionaires use astrology, but I want to make sure that it was astrology. But either way, they're saying that they're using astrology to not only like to make decisions because they can literally like make calculated decisions based on what people are going to do, what they're going to like, the mood of the general public. I mean, they can literally like plan for shit. I had this chick that I talked to that like we were just friends, y'all. All right. Anyway, what was his name? The dude that owned the banks, J. JP Morgan, that was his quote. The millionaires use the stock market, billionaires use astrology. My bad, y'all. I'm off my game tonight. All right, my bad, y'all. But anyway, this chick walked through, was like, all right, when were you born? What time were you born? Here, there, blah, blah, blah. She walked through everything, and it literally said like everything down to the like craziest detail, bro. And also points of my life where I was going to go through certain things, and like down to the month. I'm talking like 16 years ago, something happened in one particular month, and that was like on my chart.
Damn.
And they're like, well, when you turn well, it was when I turned X years old, but in this month, in this year, you'll face challenges. It'll be some of the most adverse conditions of your life. And it was when I was arrested, like it was crazy
Crazy.
stuff. So I totally believe that they can use anything as a tool.
Definitely.
But now they can do it with our data too. They're taking all that shit from us anyway,
Even more.
and you know what? I'm sorry, they're not taking it from us. We're giving it to them. Yeah. My bad.
Have you? So I know you're Christian.
Yeah.
But have you ever read the Book of Enoch?
So I've not. I've done some dabbling in the Torah and the Tanakh and whatnot, but I've not. Real quick, Gort, what's up, brother? Z? All you guys that are just coming in, I've been here for a little bit. Sorry I didn't get to say hello, but thanks for coming in and hanging out. But no, I've not read the whole book.
So in the Book of Enoch, it talks about like how they got that knowledge, the knowledge of astronomy, astrology. And basically it just says in that book that fallen angels came down and gave information to human beings that we were not supposed to have. And that's where a lot of like the Freemasonry stuff comes in, where they say like Lucifer is the light that gave the light to mankind of the tree of knowledge, the tree of good and evil. So that's why these people worship, the upper echelon who dabbles in occult and Kabbalah. They get this sacred knowledge from so-called fallen angels or whatever, but that high level stuff, that's supposedly where it comes from the ancient books anyway.
Damn, that's crazy. I mean, that's I wish that I could actually, not wish, I would like to actually carve out the time to study all of the holy books, just for the purpose of understanding them, right? And I look at like every person that's like a very like well studied theologian, they've all read like all of the holy books. And the interesting thing is that a lot of times it just brings them back to the Bible even more, so
Absolutely.
it's interesting.
I actually have my whole library like right here, you can see. And I have a Quran up there. I have a Book of Mormon up there. I have multiple 1611 King James. I have the Book of Jasher, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, which I've read all of them. Yeah, the Apocrypha says the Apocrypha is an interesting read. But if you buy a 1611 King James, the first edition of it, it's written in Old English, but the Apocrypha is right there in the middle of the book. So it's already included.
That's crazy. I think one day, well, not one day, at some point, I'll be able to kind of become more well studied in religion. I just find it fascinating.
It enriches you more than anything else. You know what I mean? Like the words in those books just do something to your insides.
Speaking of doing things to insides, Dude Knowledge, you nailed it. He's got the book of Kama Sutra. Good to see you. And
I heard
Dude
that's
Knowledge,
a good read.
yeah. You just gotta, fold it up. Yo, dude, Knowledge has been killing it, by the way, on Instagram. He's been doing some dope videos and reels. So shout out to you, Dude Knowledge and the Tactical Turkeys. Those are my guys. I know those are your guys too. So
Yeah, that's my guys.
that's how we got connected for real. So
Yeah.
shout out to them. So okay, so let's back up a little bit before we go to the world domination thing.
Cool.
I do, and Kurt, real quick before we do that, Kurt, do me a favor and drop the link for the hoodie for Safety Harbor Firearms hoodie. So I don't know if you guys saw, but like the last few streams, I had mentioned this. Safety Harbor Firearms, Walt, one of our good friends, he may even still be in chat. He and his son actually designed it. They came out with this hoodie. Okay. Now, this is a German rain. Here, let me take these off for a second. This is a German rain camo pattern hoodie, right?
Sick.
And it is like modern, but it's like milsurp, right? So it's got like the button that, you know, goes across the neck, like the old school, like some uniforms you may find out there. And it's got the pockets on the hoodie are like the pullover hoodie flap. It's got cargo pockets with closures on it, and it's tight on the bottom, so it's like perfect for carrying gats, and it's also like tight on the like it's got the tight fitted material here, and it's got like the brown strings, and the German rain camo is like perfect. Plus, this is probably one of the most comfortable effing hoodies ever. Like I would pay more than twice the amount of this cost of the hoodie just to be able to rock it. Like this thing is the like best mashup of modern and militaria, or like you know, like milsurp kind of, you know, kind of shit. And it's got like the like elbow pads, and it's just got that like old school look, but it's modern too. So shout out to Walt with Safety Harbor Firearms. They're making some dope stuff, and there's nothing else on the market like it. So he's got that cornered. But thank you, I appreciate you, Walt, and appreciate you, Kurt. So let's get into some other stuff. I'm just curious, and then we can come back to the domination of our world by the elite. So when it comes to like the firearms and stuff that you're into, I heard you you hate Glocks, you love SIGs. I'm just kidding. What kind of firearms are you into?
I mean, ones that I can afford mainly,
Yeah.
and stacking as many of them as I can. And like
Yeah.
right now, I feel like I have a good amount. So, right now I'm kind of just stacking ammo, making sure everything's Loctited at this point, stacking mags. That's like my biggest thing now is like
Yeah.
my goal was to get to 30 loaded mags. I got a buddy who's got like crates. He's got like 200 loaded mags, and I'm like envious.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I like I have a Glock 45. I have a 320X carry. I love my Echelon. I think I've talked about it in the chat many
Yeah.
times.
I've talked a little bit of trash on the Echelon, and not to be anything, only because I've heard of several reports of the optics sharing off. And I know you and some other folks has said, I think it was you, that they may have not been installed correctly with the correct recoil bosses and the small pins in the slide. So that could be true, right? So I want to, for anyone out there, if you've ever run a handgun with an optic hard, and it was an old school RMR cut where it was just the screws holding the optic in, that will shear it, and it may shear at 100 rounds, it may shear at 10,000 rounds, but it will shear off at some point. So that's why I brought that up in the past. So I don't know, I
I
don't know if
believe
it's
it.
a problem, but
I got a I know a lot of people like the C&H Precision plates for the Glocks, but there's another one that's on Amazon. I don't know if I could, you know what? Let me, before I take my slide off, double check that it's clear.
Yeah, we talked about NDs recently too.
And there's another plate that is on Amazon, but it's like super low profile. And the way that it sits, I have like standard irons, and I can still pretty much co-witness. with regular height irons. Let me see.
It's hard. It's kind of backwards on the.
Yeah. So like not total co-witness, but enough that I can
Yeah.
find the dot quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just am not a big fan of plates in general.
Hmm.
Like I hate when like a regular Glock plate is like basically you might as well have a dovetail mount almost because it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sitting on top.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same way. I really dislike when optics appear to sit super high. I will say I can live with the MOS, especially with plates that are a little more advanced, like they're thinner, better material. But I got so back there, I got an RMR on an MOS system, and that's super solid. In Shadow Systems, the one thing I mean, I may have had a lemon or like a small issue with a potential lemon, but it seems like I got kind of everything worked out. Their system is really creative when you look at what they did. They took, one of the biggest issues when you're mounting, an optic on the Glock, you have the screw on the right that essentially pushes directly into where the extractor plunger
yep,
and
yep.
spring is.
The safety plunger, yep.
Yeah, and so many people just crank down that screw, and then they turn their Glock into a blowback pistol, and they get issues. It doesn't extract right. It's just malfunction city. So the fact that Shadow System said, okay, we're gonna change the design of the plunger, and we're gonna basically have it captured inside before the screws, so now the screws can literally go all the way down into the
Nice.
to the slide. So that was a really good idea. But at this point, after having so many, because I built dozens and dozens and dozens of Glocks, and after having some budget slides that have you know basically an RMR cut with just two screw holes in it
Hmm.
versus like the MOS system, which is, even though it's kind of ugly, it is a solid ass system. Um, I've seen so many fail, and so many that even when you torque it down like perfectly, you can literally grab the optic and still kind of move it a
Shift it
little bit. It's like, dude, this is absolutely not like it couldn't be a work gun or a duty gun, right? Like
for
when
sure.
when we're looking at gear, it has to be. I hate to use the like law enforcement terms, cop terms, military terms, but the reality is that if you're going to trust a gun, like you're going to trust your gear, it's got to be like work grade, duty grade. I don't know what we could call it, dirty civilian grade. I don't know what what
Dirty
else to
civilian
call it.
grade's good for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we could do that.
Minuteman grade.
Yes, there you go, militia grade. We could do that. MOS system is janky. Here's what I did. So on the gun on my pistol belt, like you saw the MOS system you just showed.
Hmm.
Um, I have the Holosun SCS mounted to it.
Nice.
No plate needed.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's crazy low. It is rock solid. Like the screws have never backed out, like literally at all. I got the
So how do you like because I think it has one button you could change illumination with that one, right?
yeah.
Or is it just like adjust by itself, auto
So you
adjust?
could you could turn the auto adjust on and off. But I will say, as a person that has been like totally openly anti auto adjust in
Me
every
too.
situation,
Okay.
this has been the one thing where like the one system where I've been really surprised at the ability that it has. Like typically people say like, okay, so let's say you're in a situation where you draw your handgun, it's bright sunny outside, and you walk under an overpass,
Hmm.
right? So you're in a very dark situation. So obviously your auto adjustment would you know go
That's what I've
dark.
noticed. Yeah, like
Yeah,
if you're under a pavilion shooting at a range or something, and it's dark here and it's bright there.
it'll totally wash out your reticle because
Yep.
you're aiming at a bright area. Dude, I don't know what they did or do, or what. I think they found a way to point the sensor outward and be more sensitive, which could be a problem depending on the circumstances. I haven't found one yet where I think it would become an issue, but so far I've gone in like super dark rooms or like my garage or something like that, and then been like in a pitch black looking through it, cut my hand over it, and then the dot turns off to be like pew, like almost off, right? For like
Mm-hmm.
battery saving. And
Mm-hmm.
then turn around and it adjusts a little bit brighter. And in a dark, pitch black room, point out through the door, and it starts getting brighter and brighter. So as
It
I'm
has to
pointing
be
out,
out front then.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the only thing. So, but I still don't trust it because I'm old and fuddy. So I
me
keep
too.
it on manual all
Yeah.
the time.
My biggest worry, I really considered getting one of those, but my biggest worry was like the fact of like how long does this battery last?
Hmm.
And when it runs out, I guess what you have to send it back to Hollow Sun to have them reinstall the battery, or can you take
So
it to like a watchmaker and have them hook
Y
you up?
I mean,
From?
there probably is a way, like, someone will take one apart at some point, but,
Yeah.
to from what I understand, to this date, no one has killed an SCS battery
Wow.
at all, like,
Okay,
ever,
that's a
and
good sign.
I actually, now that you just said something, I have not charged that thing, or, like, it charges off of ambient light, it charges off of, like, you could just turn your indoor lights on, and it'll
Mm,
pick up, power that way,
wow.
but I've not intentionally charged it. I think I've intentionally charged it twice, and I've left it like in the windowsill for, a few hours, 6 hours, something like that. And it's run. I've never had an issue. I forgot that's the other thing is there's no battery for everyone out there listening. You don't have an external battery to take out and switch and whatnot, but it's Halasun doing Halasun things, dude knowledge. So Mark Tucker, you bring up a good point. He says if you got a rifle, you don't need a dot on your pistol. So I want to add this and I'll get your perspective on it. So I don't think anyone needs a dot on their pistol. As a matter of fact, most of my pistols don't have dots on them. I would say more than adequate with standard sights, but I just recently took dots more seriously. I'd say over the last couple of years, and that's when I started getting the higher end stuff and really running it, like really running it. But yeah, I don't think anyone needs a dot, but if there's anything technologically that could provide you, you know, uh, increase your likelihood of hitting your shot, increase your accuracy or anything like that, it's worth it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever like gone to the range and just brought two guns with you and you got one with a dot, one without a dot? You ever done that?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So
That's
like what
that's
I what
typically my setup.
yeah, me too. So like what I noticed the most is like anything inside 15, 20 yards, and even at 25 yards, like I mean, I'm gonna hit the target regardless, but like let's say I put like a 2-inch sticker out at 25 yards, I find
Yep.
it easier to hit it with a red dot.
Yeah, distance is definitely easier with a dot. But
Hmm.
compensating with sights is definitely um doable, right? Like but sometimes it may take a second shot to ensure you're hit. Yo, Craig, is this Craig Liquor? Are you out, bro? My bad. I got a whole bunch of mucus. I can't say it without sounding super weird. Um, Craig, bro, if you're out, man, hit me up. Let's talk. Um, yeah, but yeah, distance is definitely depending on how you have your dot sighted in.
Hmm.
Most people just kind of put it to the front sight and get it like kind of close. But once you have like m- the dot on my yes, good to be back, man. Good, man. I'm glad you're out. Let's talk offline after the stream. Um, and welcome home. So the dot on my it's a Gen 5 MOS with the it's got a battlefield green frame with a black multicam slide and all that with the
Sick.
SES on it. Dude, that thing is the dot is fucking spot on. Like it is
Yeah.
spot on. The other one on my Shadow Systems XR920C is spot on. Those two I would the place that like my thought was coming from that I needed to be like 100% certain is I go to a very large church with like over 1,000 people in it, and churches are targets from time to time. And I'm like, man,
as we just seen.
yeah, exactly. And it's been unfortunately happening all, and not just churches, but like it's it's happened in several situations with different religions, right?
Definitely.
But I'm thinking like, man, if I gotta take a shot, and I need certainty that I'm going to be like laser precise with my shot placement and have the proper ammunition, that it won't, give me a 2-for-1 discount at church,
100%. And really the only way to get a dot that accurate, in my opinion, is like you said, you could line it up to your irons if you'd like, or you can put a laser bore sight in there. But I've never found it to be as accurate as it can be when you go to put it on paper,
Mhm.
make those micro adjustments until you're just bullseye, bullseye, bullseye when you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I've dude, knowledge 2-for-1 discount. That's what they call the FMJs, like in Cali, because yeah,
Go
uh,
straight through.
yeah, they'll zip right through them. So like, for an example, um, it most people, and I think I give this to Lucas Bodkin because he said, "I don't really need my red dot sight to be right on with my pistol. As long as I'm kind of close, that's all I need." I'm like, man, you got influence, bro. You just told everyone that it's okay to kind of be a little bit close with a lethal instrument, you
I
know?
got an alpha here, another alpha here, and another alpha here
Yeah.
at 13 yards. I'm super
Charlie
fast.
here, but no big deal. No big deal. That's grandma's kneecap, bro. What are you talking about? So yeah, like I heard that and I was like, man, a lot of people, you just gave an excuse to a lot of people. But like once I took it out, there's people are like, oh well, the only option for a pistol red dot is to sight it in at 13 yards. And then they explain all the shit in 5 minutes and explain it. I'm just like, bro, I stopped listening.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, all right, like you know what, I'm not gonna do a 5200 zero because I'm not
no,
gonna be cracking targets at 400 yards with a 9 millimeter. So I was like, what works for me? I literally take my shit out to a private lane, slow pace, no one else
yep,
shooting, and I take it to paper with micro adjustments, bench rest, but also I'll do offhand too, and I'll try to get as consistent as possible, and I'll before going to the range, I'll use the laser bore sighter to get it as close as possible, and then I'll do 7 yards, and then I'll do 10 yards, and then I'll do 20 yards and 25 yards, and then I'll bring it back and see where I was hitting, and I'm looking in between shots too, and then see where I'm at. So then I realized the difference between 7 and 10 was almost nothing. The
nothing.
difference between 7 and 20 was like a quarter of an inch, right? And then to
Yeah,
25, it was like, okay, so if I get this sighted in at 10 yards, then I should be, minute of someone's heart,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, I stretch mine all the way out, like I said, to 25 yards.
Hmm.
Um,
See,
and I
that's what my SES is, 25 yards.
yeah,
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
I feel like when I'm at 7 yards, 10 yards, that I'm still hitting a dead on bullseye at a 2 inch target. So I'm like, I don't know when it starts to drop, but I feel like you're shooting. I mean, you also have to remember that bore, even though you have this gap, you're also talking about split seconds. Is it rising that much in that much time, or is it dropping in that much time? I mean, you're talking about
Usually,
micro
yeah.
amounts of adjustment.
Oh, and then the other aspect is like, people say, well, and this is my favorite, well, most EDC engagements are 3 feet, 3 shots in under 3 seconds. It's bullshit. It's 2024. Dudes are running
Right.
around with fucking ARs and armor on. Like I'm cracking melon shots. Like that's
Yeah. I
but
think most of us don't like your training is for the big ones. Like if
yeah,
you train for the big one, it's like prepping. If you prep for the big one, you'll be prepared for the the
Yeah,
smaller situations.
most smaller situations, like, I'm gonna backplate that shit. I'm not gonna be I literally for the people that had watched, like, the shorts that I was doing where I was literally firing from the hip and getting, like, 0.53 to point 0.6 to 0.66, draw to first shot with alphas from the hip, like, I may just do that, if depending
Yeah,
on the speed, like if speed is everything, then like
I'm gonna get one to
you
you.
you show me your ear, if you're looking out to see if the police are coming and like you won't even see it. And I'm a sub-second draw to first shot with alphas from the OWB rig, the Safari Land, and under 1.25, but usually like 1.12 or 13 ballpark
Concealed.
from concealment. Yeah, so that's if I can keep working on that and get, but the I think I'm developing some training scars to where, like, now, because I've done it 10,000 times, when I draw from the Safari Land, I'll automatically go for the first shot from, like, either a
Up
thumb
here.
pick total index or like
Oh,
in my
really?
hip. Yeah, but when I draw from concealment, it's up to my eyes and out. So I think I was just going for speed so much from the gun belt that it just like is kind of become a training scar.
Yeah, I mean, if you have time to think though, then you'll probably think through a lot of those situations. Like if you need it quick, you damn sure need to be good at doing it quick. So
For sure. Yeah,
um
quick comes after good, right?
yeah,
Like you got to get good. You got to get the fundamentals down solid, and then, man, I've seen so many people trying to draw very quickly that are squeezing off rounds in the dirt. Like, you know,
yeah.
don't go for speed first.
No.
Go for form first. Get very skilled at it, and then
And don't
develop.
pull the trigger just to pull the trigger to get a round off. That's one of
Yeah.
the things I see people do. I mean, I've trained with even some ex-military guys, and we were doing a drill where it was like the 5 steel targets, and he had one hit the top of the dirt, like the top of the dirt, which is like, I'm
Mhm.
like, how the hell did you miss that bad, bro?
Yeah.
Like everything's down here on the ground. Like how so like
Trying to be
that
fast.
yeah, trying to be fast. And I'm like, I just like I'm not pulling the trigger till my dot's on what I know I want to hit. Like I'm not pulling the
Yeah.
trigger just to pull the trigger.
So let me ask you this: when you draw, if do you practice more from concealment or from a gun belt? Like, what's your?
I'd say probably 50-50. Like obviously if I go to an indoor range and I'm sighting my irons, I'll do like from like the ready
Mhm,
draws. I'll even do some from concealment if no one's bothering me.
mhm.
But like I'm not bringing my duty belt to the inside range. So like when I'm outdoors, I'm usually training from my duty belt. Um, and I'd say it's probably about 50-50.
Okay, so I've gotten to the habit of wearing my gun belt to the range now, and I think that may kind of be what it's been as far as like some of the training scars that I've developed. But when do you put your finger on the trigger when you draw?
When I'm aiming,
Yeah.
when I'm aiming. So like once I get it to here, I definitely don't like get it on while the gun's pointed down.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So like until the gun's here, that's when my fingers pretty much simultaneously on the trigger from it's up, it's here, and my fingers on the trigger because you know,
It's
in a
funny because you were about to say when I'm ready to shoot, which is, I mean, that's the truth. That's when we should do it. But you're right. Like
yeah.
I'm kind of the same way to where when I draw, I'll draw and then I'll push out, and as I'm extending, as I'm aiming, that's when I'll put my finger on the trigger, right? Because I know where the round is going to go. I know it's a safe, because in an indoor range or in a private lane or whatever where I've been going recently. Um, there is no like sectors of fire, right? Your sectors of
Mhm.
fire are 11 to 1, and that's it.
Yep.
So I guess there's less
Oh yeah, I
consequence.
saw you have that indoor range where you don't have like a table in front of you and you can wear
Yeah,
duty
so
stuff.
I move the table to the side, so I can put it back and do like bench rest stuff if I wanted to, but for the most part, I'll move that to the side and I'll just like draw from the belt or whatever. But I started noticing all these dudes that are practicing training from or practicing drawing from like a gun belt, right? And some that are drawing from inside the waistband, and they're putting their finger on the trigger like as they remove it from their waistband, and I'm like, oh, like it's
What are you shooting down there? Like, to me, in my mind, is what's the point of doing that?
yeah, what's the need? You're not speeding anything up, right? Like,
Mm.
as a matter of fact, I mean, I don't know if you need to put your finger on the trigger right away at all. Like, we may be doing it too early. Like, maybe when you draw without your finger on the trigger, and then put your finger on the trigger when you know you need to shoot. I'd be curious. So, Dude Knowledge is out there, and he's very familiar with certain agencies, TTPs, and like stuff like that. And just to throw this out there, like, so you have no like military law enforcement, like that. You're just a dirty civilian, just like me, right?
Yep.
Okay, so just so all of you out there know, there is no like training aside from what we've done for ourselves. No military, no law enforcement, no nothing. We're both committed to training and doing stuff, but um don't mix competition and paper targets with humans. Yes. Okay, so I think it's different though when you're training to ingrain the fundamentals of drawing your firearm for potentially self-defense, or a situation where you may need to preserve life, your own or someone else's. But I'd be curious to know, like, Dude Knowledge, if Dude Knowledge, I would even send you the link. I'd be curious to have you come in and chat, only because I know he has experience with other like stuff in the past that I don't know if there's like this thing that like Fed boys talk about, like you don't put your finger on the trigger until X, or whatever.
I
Trigger when
mean,
front sight is in view. That's a good rule of thumb.
I just feel like you can feel your trigger even without prepping your trigger. So like
Yeah,
almost just touching that trigger safety, like you can just feel the trigger safety,
for sure.
and yeah, then you can prep it and take a shot. So like, I mean, if you have your gun here and like obviously you drew your gun for a purpose, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know. In my mind, I guess it just feels right to
yeah,
have your finger in the guard. If you're looking for a target to shoot at, your gun's pointed at something.
yeah,
I mean, I feel like it's right to have it on there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess not if you're looking for just safety purposes, or, if you're a cop, you're also having to remember you may draw your gun and you may not have a target. You may just be drawing in a crowd or a lot of different situations as an officer. But as a civilian, I feel like our applications are not like as prevalent towards those scenarios as theirs would be. So
yeah,
like some of our training situations may be get that thing out quick and defend your life,
yeah,
versus like they're going on offense a little more than what we would be.
yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. They're when they draw, they're scanning for black people, and I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I guess until recently, I didn't really focus as much on it.
Dude knowledge, don't call your wife a prisoner.
So funny enough, when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, I think he's calling him taking care of his kids prisoner duty for real." um, but yeah, I mean, for me, when I started kind of you know having more of an awareness, because there's this test that they do at the range I go to, and basically you have to show that you're not a tard, and once you show that you're not a tard, you're allowed to walk past the line and walk all the way to the berm, right? To show that
Nice.
you're not going to, shoot yourself in the face. And and I was like, well, that's something that I kind of started to get an awareness to as I'm drawing. And I know a lot of people are going to be against this, but I'll usually rock my Glock with the Safari Land, or I'll literally pop it out of the QLS, and I will pop my Beretta M9A3 holster in there, and I'll run
Nice.
drills with my Beretta too, and the only thing that stops me from my M9A3 Beretta being my go-to gun on my gun belt, battle belt, my EDC, and all that shit is the fact that I always carry a Glock, every single day, carrying a Glock, whether it's the 43X or a standard, standard size magazine.
So would you
box.
shit your pants if they made a Beretta 93 that took Glock mags?
Oh, it'd be over. It'd be over.
It'd be
Like
over, right?
because the one thing that keeps me from carrying the Beretta is the fact that all my homies are
Glock mags.
carrying Glocks. Yeah. And we've talked about it before. It's like, how stupid would you feel if you're in a literal gunfight and you're like, I'm black on ammo, and then they throw you a magazine and you're like, fuck, you know, and you gotta, yeah, it's not. I mean, you could work on that too. You could literally train putting 2 mags in your hand and literally click, transfer an ammo from it. But I don't want to be spending my time doing that shit. All right.
No, you just take one out and then put it right in the chamber, and at least you got one.
Yeah, at least you got one.
You go to single shot every time.
Yeah, like breech
and leave
shotgun.
leave the old mag in there that's empty, so that way it locks back every time for you.
Yeah, you can load it like a lever gun, or like a bolt gun, like load the inside.
Yeah,
so how's your gun belt set up? Like, what do you have on your gun belt?
I have. You want me to grab it real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll grab mine too. Show me yours. I'll show you mine. And Kurt, while we do this, don't tell everybody that right now on DLD hardware, I've just dropped. Oh shucks! Don't tell everybody right now that I've just recently dropped the newest Goon Beams, and do not tell everyone right now that if they go on DLD hardware, that they can actually right now purchase the one and only DLD Blue Light Special. It is finally out in the TLR1 sized weapon mounted light. Yes, the TLR1 HL weapon mounted light in the blue, and also the rifle light in the blue as well. Do not tell them that both are available on DLD hardware right now, and do not share the link right now. Definitely do not share that link right now, because then everyone would know. They would leave the stream, they'd go buy them. There's only 10 of them available, so they would sell out right away. So definitely do not tell everybody that the blue Goon Beam weapon mounted light and the blue Goon Beam pistol light are available right now. There's actually 10 pistol lights and there's 14 rifle lights. Last time all 10 literally sold out on the live stream, like while we were doing it. So I just want to let you guys know that they're definitely not available right now. And you can definitely not have a lot of crazy fun with crazy blue lights. That's all I'm saying. God, I hate the Asian dude template model. I know it's bad, but it's hilarious. That's the funny part. Joe Biden hates DLD edition Goon Beam lights. Guess what we're doing? Buying all them things Biden hates. Yes, this is true. And he hates ammunition too, especially bulk ammunition. I probably shouldn't leave this hanging right here. So I removed my pistol. But this is my Goon belt. If you want, we can go over yours first, and then we can go good, because I've showed mine a bunch.
Yeah, I did a video on mine. Am I still muted? Nah. Okay.
There you go.
I did a video on mine. I'm running the Core. I love this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Core battle belt.
Okay.
And I run my gloves. One of the things I like is I strap the tourniquet to my holster rig. Nice. I have an extra tourniquet there. Nice. I just run a level 2 holster that I did a short on, a guy who makes them here where I'm at. And I run 2 pistol mags up front, a rifle mag, my dump pouch. I run another 2 rifle mags in the back, a med kit, and a small like utility pouch for like just random shit, fire starters, can of dip, all kinds of different stuff.
Nice.
Well, mine's pretty simple. I do run the 3 rifle mags and 2 pistol mags because I usually carry on my kit 1 extra rifle or 1 extra pistol mag. So I carry 3 pistol mags total, and I try to carry as many rifle mags as I can.
See, and it's funny because everyone is kind of different in like where they put what, right? So like, um, I'm of the belief that like I think everyone should have at least 1 rifle mag on their belt, because even if you're just going to do pistol work, if you were to have to pick up someone else's AR, you want to be able to top that thing off and get it into action like right away, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's your quickest reload unless you have like a fast mag on your carrier. Like if you have to go a
Yeah.
bungee or something else with those taco mags, that's going to be your fastest.
Yeah. So I have 1 AR mag on my belt, and I've kind of like I've been a little torn on this in the past, but I also have a lot of mags very strategically placed on my carrier. So I think it's interesting to kind of see like how different people do different things, but um I used to on my old carrier, like the first Condor carrier that like when we get our first like, like pair of armor plates, I got a shitty Condor carrier. It does still work. It is very comfortable. I got level 4s in there. They're awesome. I
Yeah.
also have level 3A behind it. It's great armor. Um, I was rocking 6 magazines on that thing, and if you on the front, right? And if you gotta lay down, if you gotta do much but fight, you're struggling. So, I have that, which that's just kinda there. That's like, for a different kind of, application. I have, my more mobile carrier, which is a shellback carrier, level 4 plates with, 3 mags up front, but then on the cummerbund, there's no armor on the cummerbund. It's the elastic mag carriers on the side. So you can actually put 3, 6, 9
Nice.
magazines, and if they feel like they're not even there. I mean, honestly, they're lighter than side plates, and I don't like rocking side plates in my armor. I think in most cases, side plates are, you know, we'll call them overrated instead of useless. I certainly wouldn't call them useless.
My whole thing is if you need armor, I have level 4 side plates, hard side plates on mine.
Damn, level
And
4 side plates?
yep,
Damn.
I have level 4 polyceramic, and I have a Tacticon cheap chest rig, but
Mhm.
or plate carrier. But I actually love the thing because the 3 mags that are in the front are built in. It's not like where you have to
Yeah,
add it, so it keeps it really slim.
yeah.
I added some shoulder pads. That I feel like that's the only weakness it had, was the shoulders were kind of thin. So I added my own shoulder pads, and I changed the cummerbund out. So really, it's just that front piece, and then
Mhm.
I have 2 mags that I can use that I pretty much keep empty, but I could stack mags even in front of those, and a
Mhm.
med kit in front of that. But um, if I'm not like kicking down doors, or
Yeah,
like we're going on a total combat mission, if I'm just
yeah.
like in SHTF, I'm probably just running the belt with a chest rig.
Yeah. I feel
So
the same way. I feel like a plate carrier is usually if you know you are going to do something and you know that it is likely you are going to be engaged in combat. The whole thing where people like dream up this SHTF scenario where everyone's like, "Oh, the boog started," and then they get in full kit and like walk around like, no, it's not. Your best bet is to look as much like a stupid civilian that's starving and hiding a Glock in your waistband. Like that's
yeah,
going to be your best bet. And if you for other people out there, if you having a plate carrier is important, having several options for armor is important. Having soft armor, right, for concealment, having hard armor plates that are concealable, those are good things to have too.
for
Right
sure.
now, I got the big Condor. We'll call it a heavy armor setup. I have the Shellback, which is much more of a mobile platform with the level 4 plates. It also has man, this stupid AI. Um, it also has the level 3A like little groin plate, which is
Nice. I
it's
like those.
yeah, it's cool. I never would have gotten one, but I got the setup in a trade. So it was like it just works, and it's
It's really supposed to be for like your lower abdomen, right? Not
yeah,
really your
it's kind of where it is.
yeah.
It's more in like the lower abdomen. Like I could still get my dick sucked with my plate carrier on, So
Nice.
nice.
That might be
Uh,
useful in SHTF.
it could be, because I told you guys like chicks are gonna be literally selling their bodies for Bic lighters. You just wait, all right?
And I know a lot of people think that we're all gonna have the same scenario. I think someone like Risky Krisky kind of did a great job at talking about like different environments and
Hmm.
what you would wear. So, like, if you're out in the boonies, if you're out in the woods, you're probably not going to want to truck the woods in a plate carrier. You're probably going to want to
Yeah,
be stealthy. You want to be able to move. Um, Different people will have like neighborhoods that they're really close with their people, and they'll be like on overwatch on that whole neighborhood, or the whole neighborhood may be out patrolling all day or something like that. So, like, there's just a
yeah,
lot of different scenarios for
dude.
different setups.
Hands down, one of the most valuable things that I think we could all have, depending on your climate, and have plenty of them, is ponchos.
Yeah,
Ponchos can hide so much.
yeah,
Like ponchos are where it's at. And don't go
I
get like
agree.
an M81 poncho because like you're just gonna look like that guy, right? You may as well be in full kit if you have a camo poncho on. But those are
I picked up an M81 poncho this past
I mean, you can
weekend.
still have it, but
Oh
like,
yeah, I want to have one.
just I mean, using it for like regular stuff while life is regular, that's okay.
Yeah,
But like throwing it on in a boog type situation may not be ideal. And
Un-
it may be
unless you're rolling 10 deep and everyone's rocking them, and it's like,
that
yeah,
may be different.
we're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna show y'all what's under my poncho, but just assume that it's something. But then I have a another set of soft armor, and then I have another set of concealable rifle plates. Like level 3. They're steel, and I know I have one set of steel. Everything else, like the level 4s, are ceramic
Yeah.
and all that. But like also ceramic, if you take a dive wearing ceramic, you could compromise your plates. So there's pros and cons of
I
all
have
these.
2 sets of steel and 1 set of the ceramics,
Mhm.
and, I mean, they're not too bad. If you're not running side plates, you could definitely get away with running steel for a while. Some
Yeah.
steel is a little heavier than other steel, and,
Yep.
um,
Dude, I
you know
had those sub $100 CATI steel plates. They bend them in the upper chest area, like
mhm,
bend them back, and then in the lower stomach area, they bend them in like on your like love handle area, and it's like a suction cup to your body.
mhm,
And when you strap on, I got the Scorpion tactical Scorpion gear concealable plate carrier. They were like $35, dude. That holds the armor so close to you, and it feels like you're not wearing anything.
yeah,
And you can't get rid of anytime you're concealing body armor, you cannot get rid of the back bump. It will
for sure.
always be an
The
unnatural
high
thing.
part on the
Yeah,
high top, yeah,
yeah. So what you do is you wear a backpack or some drape
yes.
something over you, and you'll have less back bump.
So if you really want to know how long you can wear steel, feel free to come down to Florida in the summertime when it's like 105
Yeah,
and rock your
soaking wet.
plates on the outdoor range for
Mhm.
4 hours straight, and you'll know quick on how it feels at its worst.
Go run a training event in a warm climate area with plates on, and that's why it's so funny because all of us were at, MD Arsenal, and we were like, "Hey, on the, advanced, gunfighter class, we'll all wear our plates," right? And then we start the day, we're all doing pistol work and stuff, and we're all, like, looking at our carriers, and we're like, "Let's just stick to gun belts," you know? None of us put our carrier on.
So
Uh,
that's one of the reasons why I feel like you definitely want some rifle mags on there, multiple rifle mags, because like
yeah,
there might be a situation where that's all you have is your gun belt. You have your
yeah,
rifle, you have your gun belt, you have a sidearm, and you know.
So that's why I've made the decisions that I have, and I'll go through this with you real quick. So from the 12 o'clock, it's the Blue Alpha,
Nice.
Blue Alpha gear, Blue Alpha Force, Blue Alpha, whatever, Blue Alpha with the Cobra buckle. Here, let me put this on Zoomy Zoom. Okay, so it's the Blue Alpha belt. Yes, it's in good guy camo. The multicam. I know a lot of people are anti multicam, but I think it could potentially decrease the likelihood of getting shot. So I'll take that. I'll go this way, then I'll come back. So I well, fuck it. So I got the mini Skittles pouch to the like 11:30 slot. So it's a micro dump pouch, and it rolls up to be super super small. And I like having it up there so I can drop empties in, so I can put my snacks and beef jerky in and stuff. And it actually is pretty large, even though it's small. But you can still bend over, lean over, jump, whatever. Like you could do sit-ups with it on. I won't be doing sit-ups with it on, but you could. So then I got my the Safariland 6390 on it, the 6390 RDS. So it opens and closes when you draw your shit out. It is on a thigh rig holster because that's how I get down. So sorry if you don't like it. I think everyone should have a blade, at least a small blade like you had on yours. This is the K-Bar large TDI. And I wrapped this in multicam. I wrapped the plate in multicam, and I wrapped this in multicam. I got a horizontal tourniquet holder here, and I may need to replace this tourniquet because it's got literally got mud all over it and shit. But whatever, mud and blood. And then I just changed. So I used to rock an old 511 medical pouch that was huge. Like this thing was massive, and I could fit so much stuff in it. But I was like, man, this is kind of whack. I don't want to, I kept having issues like sitting down. There were so many issues with it. So I swapped out the med kit for another smaller Savior one. This one. So oh snap! So I swapped it out for the Savior kit, which is dope because it's got this thing where, in theory, you should be able to from behind grab this and like work the zippers and pull it out, but it doesn't work as advertised. You actually would need to open your medical pouch, and then you can pull this out, and that has your chest seals and your gauze and stuff like that in there. I like the idea of it, but it's still too big and bulky. And when you have it loaded up, I mean, this thing is stacked. So I switched out of that, and whoops, and I got the micro Blue Alpha gear micro uh, uh, trauma kit now. So MTKN. This thing is the smallest, hands down the smallest on the market, and it is super super comfortable. You can sit down with it without having an issue, and you literally just grab the pull tab, rip it out, and you got everything. I got chest seals in here. I got two gauze. I got two sets of gloves. I got a thermal blanket. I got just a gang of shit. Everything that I was fitting in there, I just jammed in here, and I kept the medical thing blue because why not? Then of course you gotta have and this was a tough call. Instead of putting another rifle mag, I wanted a tourniquet that I could grab from each side. So I have a second tourniquet here, and then to get to the magazines, I have 3 pistol mags. I know most people don't rock 3 pistol mags on their belt, but I got 3 pistol mags and 1 rifle mag, and I'm rocking the S-Tech mag carriers with the Kydex inside, which are awesome. And these are the OD green mags that match the Glock that I got. And then that's the micro Skittles pouch that I showed in the beginning. So that's my current setup. And my reasoning
Nice.
behind it is thank you. My reasoning behind it is, so generally speaking, if I'm just grabbing my gun belt, I'm going to have, about 80 or so rounds of pistol ammo. I'll have one magazine, and if I'm at my house, I have plate carrier, I have chest rigs, I have all sorts of options of magazines I can grab. The Vertex pants that I have, which I have like 5 sets, they have the dual AR mag pockets on each side, so I could throw mags in there. Or I'll have a chest rig in the car. Sometimes I have a plate carrier in the car, and if I need to throw on extra AR mags, I can do that. But on my AR mag, the AR mag in my gun is also 2 mag clamped mags, so it'll give me one extra mag change. But it was a tough call. I didn't know which
Nice.
direction to go on that.
So my biggest thing with having more rifle is like if I'm gonna stick mags in my pockets, I'd rather them be pistol mags just
Sure.
because you know what I mean. So like you could fit 2 pistol mags where you could fit another rifle mag somewhere.
Yeah.
And my ultimate goal is to not really have to go to the pistol, like I'd
Mhm.
like to run my 11.5, keep everything as light, stealthy as I can, and chuck them as much as I can with that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I want to I love that med pouch. I've been looking at those. They're definitely a little pricey, but they're freaking
Dude, I found
awesome.
one on eBay for like 46.99. And I was like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, I gotta grab it.
So is that a knockoff or is that the
No, it's
real?
legit. It came with the whole
Nice.
Blue Alpha shit. I was looking
Nice.
for one, and all of them were like 59.99 plus shipping, and it's like, damn, do I really want to pay like $70 for this? While the Savior one is like 29 bucks. The
Yep.
511 was even less. But the way I kind of look at it is my and I usually even call it my gun belt is my pistol belt,
Yep.
and my like plate carriers and chest rigs are for rifles, and my gun belt is for pistols. So I kind of have it separated like that, which could be a flawed way of thinking, right? I'm not saying like that this is the way. It's just kind of the way that I've been training.
It's all
Um,
personal preference, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, but every time I grab a rifle, I don't necessarily want to throw on a plate carrier or a uh, um, uh, whatchamacallit, chest rig. So
Hmm.
maybe I could swap. I could probably reposition things to have a tourniquet because I have other medical kits everywhere in the house, in the car, and So granted, if something happened, I do want to have the ability to reach the tourniquet from both my left arm and my right arm, like
How my
impaired.
my biggest question with those med kits is like once you pack them up, how hard is it to yank that thing out?
It's super simple. It's that was one of my issues too. I was like,
Yeah.
will I have the strength to rip it out?
Hmm.
That Savior one, no. It would be
Oh yeah,
difficult to
that's
do at 100%. Yeah, like you got to saw it open. Like even if it worked like it was supposed to, it's just not going to work. Like
so
it.
I just went with one of these because
Mhm.
you just unclip it and then you rip it off.
Yeah.
And that's about as simple as I could think of it to be.
So let me
Um,
ask you this: Have you like sat in a car with your gun belt on or anything like that?
yeah.
It does it get in the
If
way?
No, not really. I mean, you can feel it, but it's like a little bit off centered. So
Hmm.
like if you look at like this is the front and
Hmm.
it's like a little bit off centered here. So like I
Okay,
can just kind of post up a little bit to my left side and I'm good.
gotcha.
The rifle mags, you can kind of feel those like you're not super comfortable sitting in a car,
Hmm.
but I mean, if I'm gonna go in like a car with all my gear on, I'm either headed to like a mission. I just don't see myself like 3 hours in a car with that on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
or
was just
like
curious. Like, even if um, like let's say you were in an engagement and had to like duck into an abandoned building or something. Like, could you sit down for an hour, and would you be able to get rest if you sat down with shit jamming into your kidneys and stuff? And that's also
yeah.
like when I mean, if it works, then I'd keep it. I wouldn't change anything. Like mine, I I I've changed a lot of stuff on my gun belt from like each training event that I do. I'll be like, man, I should probably change this, or I should upgrade the. Actually, you know what? Aside from the physical belt itself, I have changed almost every single thing from what I started with to where it is now.
I
It
have to, yeah.
sucks
But
because
I tell you, one of the most comfortable things is that core belt. So like, let's say I was in that situation and I have to sit down, I have the luxury of just loosening it up a little bit, creating a little
yeah,
space. And I love that.
yeah,
That right there, like even on long range days, man, just like even when I'm like not like it's not my turn or I'm taking a break, I can just
yeah.
crank it out a couple notches and loosen it up real quick.
That's how my EDC belts are. My EDC belt, and I have another dress belt that is very similar to the core system. It's the next belt, which is same kind of thing. It's a ratcheting system that you put it in there and you and then you press the button and
Nice.
pull it out.
I've been wearing
Um,
a core for 3 straight years, the same core.
nice. Yeah, I got the
So,
next belt like a year and a half ago, something like that.
do you wear the belt buckle off centered too
Yeah,
for
yeah.
appendix?
I've actually moved it now. It's basically sitting because I didn't trim a lot off the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let me keep it long for like, whatever. Like, because I don't know, I'm weird. Like, if you cut it, that's it. You cut it, right? So I was like, I don't have a problem, putting it through like 2 other loops, and
Mm-hmm.
having it like.
I think I cut mine a little short. I'm
Oh, did
like,
you really?
I had to keep buying like new elastic to like keep it, but I got a
Oh,
good one
gotcha.
now. So,
Yeah, yeah. I usually pull the buckle all the way to the end of my third one. So basically, it's at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then push it back to the back of the third belt loop, and then up front I'll have of course we can't show firearms on a live stream, but I'll have the a Glockish item like that on my like 12:30, 1 o'clock area, and then to the actually funny enough, I usually to my like 11 about 11 o'clock I'll carry a secondary Glock mag. Um, but I realized that carrying my 5-shot J frame was about the same size, weight, and like pain in the ass, like the discomfort of it. And I was like, well,
nice.
shit, if I'm gonna carry another Glock mag, like why don't I just throw a Glock mag in my bag and carry another 5-shot revolver or whatever, you know?
It's way faster too, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I do got a dude knowledge. Help me out. I got a like a sub 2-second reload. I'll take. I mean, still, if I can do a sub 2-second reload with a 1.12-second draw to first shot, it is still indeed quicker.
Yeah.
But
Those episodes of Nuke My Parks where
mhm.
they talked about the revolvers, that sold me on that extra revolver.
Yeah, it's definitely revolvers are good guns to have. DB Cooper, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Buster Hyman went shooting with an old friend, Clee Taurus, and he brought back some of the friends, Dixon Butts, Eaton Beaver, Hilda Dick, and her friend Fonda Dix. And they were so new, I thought I was leaving in a body bag. Sounds like you got some interesting friends there. Playboy, what's up, bro? Vanessa Kitty, good to see you. All you guys. Andy Lipsco, what's up, fam? Tim Happa. Just nickname them. Sorry, I'm just going through. Dennis Dixon, what's up, man? It's great for old eyes. I don't have old eyes yet. No seatbelt needed when you're wearing your battle belt and plate carrier. Very true. I don't wear my seatbelt at all.
And
Anyway.
helmet. Don't forget the helmet.
Yeah, you gotta rock the helmet. When I put my ear pro on my helmet and then realized that I had to go to the range wearing my helmet, I was like, fuck. So I got I'll still rock the helmet from time to time, but I'm still not in
I
this.
love wearing my helmet. I don't know what
It,
it is, but
it is
I could never take it off and be happy.
it's special. It's
Yeah.
special. And the ability to headbutt somebody's face is
Which
definitely
I think we talked about this one night, either on turkeys or something, but which ear pro did you end up going with?
so I got the range guards, the
Okay.
what the fuck are they called? The same company that makes oh my god, dude knowledge is gonna beat my ass for
I think
forgetting.
I have them saved in one of my windows. I think I know the ones
Yeah,
you're talking about.
The what you call they make the Comtax. Oh my god, 3M. What's the company? Oh my god, I'm tripping. They're right here. Hold on. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. It's like the most prolific company in Ear Pro. Peltor. I cannot believe I forgot the name of the
So
company.
let me see them real quick. Which Peltors you got? The
So
OGs?
these no, so these are
Oh,
the
that's exactly what I got. The
oh
Peltor.
really?
I have the Peltor 100s. Those might be the 500s. I'm
So
not sure.
the range guards, look them up. If you get the range guards, you can actually rig a mic up to it. So if
Yep.
I wanted to, I could turn these into like makeshift Comtacs, which this is
I love those things. I have them on mine, the exact same ones.
yeah,
Except
they're
mine are the
great.
Peltor 100s, and the directional sound in those, it's like you don't have
Oh, it's
like
crazy. The
crazy.
clarity, I mean, if you grab and no shade against like, walk mother of
Oh
pearl.
no, you could throw shade at walkers when you're talking of comparing them to Peltors. It's like night and day.
I mean, honestly, especially like, bro, if I'm putting that much money into these are my original pair, I got them from literally got them from Walmart for like $70 or something like that.
Hmm.
But they were in the wrong case and they charged me for the cost of regular Air
Nice.
Pro. So I got a win for that. But I got a second pair. Again on eBay, it was I'm like an auction lurker, right? Like
Me
I
too.
look for like I'm Rich said this best earlier. He said I'm an opportunist purchaser, right? Um, but I got these for like 39.99, and I mounted these on the helmet, and then got a second pair for like when I don't feel like wearing a helmet. But honestly, if I'm going to train, like give me my gun belt and give me fucking my helmet, and I'm solid with that.
Me too. Yep. Um, there's a Bargain Bin Tactical. You ever seen his channel?
Mm-mm.
There's a guy called Bargain Bin Tactical, and he's like that. Like he's just the budget stuff that works. You know what I mean? Then that
Oh
you're
yeah,
not going to break the bank on, and that's pretty much the category I fall into.
yeah, dude, I'm the same way. I mean, even though like I've amassed a bit of a collection over the years, I mean, this is like more than a decade of building like the shit that I got, and for a lot of that decade I was making stupid money. So
Nice.
people that got it well, and also I so and I'm not trying to say this to like y'all know me well enough now. Y'all know my heart to where I'm not like trying to flex and shit, right? Um I had worked at a shop previously, so I got a discount. Everything was at a maximum 12% above cost. So I got, stupid expensive guns for stupid cheap. And I just kind of started, collecting. Um, but like most of the dudes I'm meeting and talking to, like a lot of the dudes that started channels and shit like that, they're like, oh, I started shooting in 2020. And I'm like, damn, for real? Like
Mhm.
the speed at which people are getting like fully into this shit is crazy. Like I was fucking with guns when I was like a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Started carrying a
I
gun.
probably didn't start shooting like where I got a membership to an outdoor range. I started kitting up when I was training. That probably started around 2020-ish.
Yeah,
And I also am the guy that like will train every night at home. Like when
yeah,
everyone's in bed, I'm clearing, I'm dry firing, I've done shorts on it. Um and that's really even at the range, I'd run my kit and I'd realize, damn, this is not how it needs to be. But then I'd fine tune it doing dry fire drills.
yeah,
And if it didn't run right in a dry fire drill, then I'm like, yeah, no way. And then usually if I run it good in a dry fire drill and then I go to the range, it translates well.
yeah. Yeah, and it also depends. Like, dude, I went to go sign up for a class that was at a local range They do a lot of good training there. But I as and man, I don't mean I keep sounding douchey, man. I'm not trying to sound douchey, but like I feel like I kind of graduated from their training that they offer. Mostly because a lot of their instructors there are a little older school military. So like they're like GWAT guys. And not that GWAT guys are old school. I'm just saying that they are 100% set in their ways with what they did with which what worked when they were out there. And
Hmm.
I 100% understand that and I support that and I want to learn that. But I've taken almost every single class that they offer, and I kind of had to start looking other places. And I
Yep.
did like, dude, I'll take basic rifle courses all over Virginia. Like I'll take basic
Thanks.
shit over and over and over because really, if you look at it, the advanced shit is just the basics with just some things elevated or doing things differently, but the basics are always, it's just amplified basics basically.
And this is my theory because I mean I grew up playing sports,
Hmm.
and you could find someone who has been playing for 10 years, but they just don't take it seriously, or they don't put the reps in enough as often enough to build the muscle memory consistent enough. So like,
Hmm.
2020 is 4 years ago. If you got
Yeah.
someone who's been shooting for 10 years, but they shoot once every 2 months and they don't train and practice on the daily or do dry
Hmm.
fire enough,
Yeah.
you got someone in 4 years that if they're training daily, even if
Yeah.
it's not live fire, they're going to surpass that person because they're just putting in more reps consistently, more
Yeah.
frequently.
That's exactly what like mastering something is. It's like, if you've done something for 10,000 hours or, X amount, like that's when you've like mastered something. And I'm nowhere close to mastery at all. And due knowledge, I 100% agree. A lot of GWAT, SOPs, and TTPs are still relevant to this day. What I'm
Definitely.
finding is more of of an issue is that these dudes were living that life and kicking down doors, and they were pushing dudes wigs back in 2005, and their kit is matching what they carried in 2005, 2010, like a while ago, right? So because a lot of things have changed, it's going to be different if they don't have an optic on their rifle, or the only optic that's worth anything is a Trijicon ACOG 3X. Like that's it, that's the only thing that exists, or EOTechs or nothing, right? If you don't
Yeah.
have a Knights with an EOTech, then get out of my class, right? Or dudes that like are
You
Glock
can even
carriers,
see the
or
difference between early GWAT guys and late GWAT guys.
for sure,
So
yeah.
like there was some big transitions between how they were doing things because they realized over that time period that certain things just work better than the way that they were given it from the initial start.
Like for an
And
example, tourniquets.
yeah,
Tourniquets work, right? They
yep.
and how many do, and I'm making light of it now, but the reality is that for more than actually no, I mean it wasn't until like 10 to 12 years ago that tourniquets were a thing in the military. So many dudes bled out because they would get hit and then they would be leaking and then they would be given an IV, which would just make them bleed out quicker because they'd say, well, we don't want to give them a tourniquet because the tourniquet could compromise the limb.
I'd rather lose the limb.
Yeah, take my limb. If you can take my limb right now and tell me that I'm going to live, take it. I'll
Yep,
saw it with you, you know?
for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, things change, right? And
And it's even funnier, like when, because I work part time at a, like I'm the guy at this gun store that I go to. I'm in there so much that when I'm in there, I take customers. I'll go in the back, work on people's guns for them.
mhm.
But you'll meet some of the old heads, the old military heads, and they're on a completely different thing than
Oh yeah.
GWAT. You
Yep.
know.
Yep. I've seen that. That's how I got a job at the gun shop back in the day. I was just
Hmm.
always there.
Yep.
And it's cool though. Like you get introduced to a whole bunch. You have to become as knowledgeable as at least the most knowledgeable consumer, even in the shit that you don't like. Because
Absolutely.
if you're an AR dude, an AR builder, and a Glock builder, and someone comes in and they're like, "Oh, I want to look at this, Japanese Nambu pistol," you better know what the fuck that shit is, or like, I want to look at this P08 Luger, or Remington 700, or um, I I had this one dude walk in. This is when I noticed it. I had this one dude walk in, and he had what looked like a Browning Auto 5, an A5.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's so dope. Like, I love the Brownings." He's like, "This isn't a Browning." I was like, "What? No, it's got like that's a Browning Auto. Like, trust me, bro. That's a Browning Auto 5. It's got the reciprocating barrel. It's got like all that stuff, right?" And it was a Remington Model 11 that was it.
Wow.
No, it was a knockoff Remington Model 11. So it was like a Philippine knockoff of a Remington Model
It was
11.
the Gerson before the Gerson.
Yes, yes. It's like the knockoff of the A5. And he totally schooled me. And
Yeah.
I, man, I'll never forget this one guy that came in there, and he would always carry he called them mouse guns on each pocket, right? Dedicated each front pocket to two tiny little mouse guns. And he had a 25 ACP in one and a 32 ACP in the other. And he'd rotate, he'd carry other guns and whatnot, but they were always all metal guns. Total FUD, but really good dude. Not a FUD in the negative sense. He's just that guy.
Can we curse on here?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I've
so
been
some.
trying to stop
All right, I
cursing,
won't.
but you
Yeah,
can.
that's true. Some fuds will f you up, just so you guys
Oh,
know.
for certain, without even thinking about it.
Yeah,
When I was a kid, I got my ass whooped by an older dude. It's
yeah,
sometimes it'll teach you some manners.
for sure. We got a fud that comes in. He's similar to that. He rocks a shoulder holster with a 10 mil,
Nice,
and it also has like a combat knife, like right in the front. Like he's an
bro.
older dude, but like he will mess somebody up.
Yeah, you gotta respect it. I love my shoulder holsters. The Galco Miami Classic is one of the best shoulder rigs out there. I got a mount that you can screw in a Kydex sheath, so you can
Nice,
literally carry a fixed blade upside down under your armpit. But then, because you lose your reloads, you can put reloads on your belt, or you can screw in Kydex magazine carriers on that too. It's pretty dope.
nice.
But so I this dude that would come in there all the time, and he would buy these little cheap shitters, like $200 to $300 guns. And I was like, "Why are you always looking for like the little 25s and 32s?" And he was like, "Once you get to my age, you've been through some things, you've done some things, and let me tell you what, carrying a big gun, it's not for me. Carrying two little guns." He leaned in and he was like, "You shoot a man in the gut once, takes all the fight out of a man." And like leans back, and I'm like, "All right, so we just need to do some paperwork over here." Like,
For
you shoot a
sure.
man in the gut once, it takes all the fight out of a man. I'm like,
Yeah. There's some
yeah,
people that you meet in the stores that been through some stuff.
bro. I had
Definitely.
one dude buy a gun and kill himself the next day. And actually, John Crump, this is the craziest thing. Years before I knew John Crump, he was a firefighter that responded to that same call.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was the dude that sold him the gun legally for the Fed boys out there. I was at a gun shop and sold this dude a gun. And I had no idea that, like, he showed no signs at all that he
That's
planned to use it
terrible,
for
man.
anything other than just keep it in the house. And yeah, it's crazy.
Damn, man.
Christian
I,
Jennings 22.
I was laughing. I was laughing at the chat. Not that's but
Oh
JC
yeah.
JC9 said you got beat up by a FUD while that was driving a Prius. That had me
they,
laugh.
they yeah, Jennings is scary. Yes, they are. So funny thing is I knocked out a dude driving a Prius that was road raging on me, and
Nice.
they will never let me live it down. Now, this was a long time ago, like so long, so far past the statute of limitations that I don't even remember. But this dude was like road raging on me, and he was like, I was going over the speed limit. He was coming up behind me. He was revving his little golf cart engine. He was blowing his horn. He was leaning out the window yelling at me. And I turned on this street. It's 25 miles an hour. I was going like 35 already. And this dude comes up behind me, starts throwing his hands out the window, and he's like, you know, just kirking out. And then this dude passes me on a single lane road, not like a single lane country road where it's cool to pass people, right? Like
Yeah.
in the middle of like the city, right?
Mhm.
And this dude rolls down his window and he's like yelling, "Get the fuck out the car! Get the fuck out the car! Pull over! I'm gonna fuck you up!" And all this. So I was like, "Okay." So I pulled over, and I've learned that the first one out of the car wins, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm a big dude, but I can fucking move, dude. I can,
Nice.
if I got to, I can move. And that's something that I've learned over like kicking Jeep doors closed on dudes' legs and shit
Uh-huh.
like that as they're trying to come out and whatever. And this is when I used to be a knucklehead that would fight and stuff like that. I do not recommend that anyone do anything like this, okay? Um, but I was young, I was stupid, and willing to fight. And even then, I had a gun then, and I didn't do anything, right? I would get in fist fights with guns all the time. That sounds so bad to say, but anyway, so I got out of the car like quick, fast, and I ran back to him. He starts getting out of the car, and as he slams the door, he's like, "What the is your pro?" And I just clean his bitch like right, lay him down right away.
Fantastic. Yep.
This dude is like, boom, and just like the leverage just head smacks the ground. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, should have learn to run your mouth. I look up and there's a
Yep.
kid in the fucking back seat in a baby seat, bro.
That's awesome though. He should have fucking definitely never been talking that shit with his kid in the car.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even just the words that he used,
Bro.
dude, was like, your kid was hearing all that, right? Your kid watched you got leveled, dude. There wasn't even a second for I had like a literal second to be like,
Did you just casually walk back to your car and
I walked
get
back
in?
and I drove off right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be like, oh, come here?
He'll
Am I
wake
gonna
up eventually.
bottle feed him? Yeah. Well, he was away from the street enough for me not to feel too bad about it. But
Cool.
later on, I was like, yo, that dude could have got his melon squashed by a car rolling by or something, you know?
Oh yeah. Well,
You shouldn't have run your mouth.
don't start something that
Yeah.
you can't finish. Don't write checks that your ass can't cash.
That's one of my favorite sayings right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't write checks with your mouth that your ass can't cash. Dude, yeah, I felt bad for a long time. But well, for a long time, probably being like a half hour that day. But the dude was driving a Prius. So every time anyone talks about like Dark is always running around looking for Prius drivers, and no, I'm not targeting Prius drivers. But
That's a great story, bro.
dude, it definitely changed. It was before I had a kid. It was before, it definitely changed the way I looked at road rage. I used to literally like take dead batteries and put them in my console just to have batteries to throw at people's cars when they tried to road rage on me.
Damn.
Like, I was a savage back then, man. I
That's
said that for to find out for sure. Yeah, but you never know nowadays. Like nowadays, hey Jen Champ, good to see you. Dark is
nowadays you just get that thing out, wait for them to come to your door till they start banging on that window, hold it underneath.
See, I don't ever look for fights, but if so in that moment when I knocked that dude out, the first thing I did was I looked at his hands, looked at his waistband, looked at his pockets, looked at his eyes.
Always.
And the moment that I realized that he just wanted a fight, I gave him what he wanted. Usually if it's just a fight, I'll fight.
For sure.
And we talked about this on the phone the other day. It was like, yeah, I don't know. It's 2024. I'm feeling a little old. I'm,
yeah.
I may just be like, we were fighting. He went for my gun,
Yeah,
But
I mean, you definitely can't let someone disarm you. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you do lose that fight, you never know. They may just, if you're laid out there unconscious, someone search you,
takes your gun,
and then executes you.
Yeah, it's a gamble for sure.
Yeah.
Or if they can get back to their car and they got something, or they, you never know. The other thing to consider is that you never know who made a call and who's got boys on the way before the fight started, right? So you may be
Yeah.
fighting, you may be in a one-on-one match, and you may be winning, and all of a sudden you get hit by a truck and shot with a shotgun. You know,
I mean, you want always the first goal is to de-escalate. And sometimes pulling the
and
trigger
then elevate.
de-escalates really quick things.
Yeah.
So don't forget that.
So there's another thing that I always Tesla drivers are even worse. Yes, very
Yeah.
true. Um, the other thing that it kind of goes against my so I think the only time that anyone should use lethal force is in the act of preservation of innocent life, being myself or another life that I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
But also it could be a stranger, but you also never know what kind of situation is going on, who's the real victim, right? Like
Mhm.
I think people are so ready to draw their handgun, and like they're you know looking for a legal opportunity to use their firearm, and
For sure.
they
I think that's
may.
why another reason why you don't F around to find out, though.
100%. This is the time to be as private as you can, to give people their privacy, to be like, do not put your nose in anyone's situation.
Yeah, be a nice person, bro. Driving in a car is not worth
Hmm.
fighting people, bro. Like
Yeah.
you never know if they're having a bad day, if they're late to work, if they're just chilling and you're losing your shit. Like recognize if you're
Hmm.
the one that's losing your shit and you're a hothead and someone's just chilling driving their car, or it's an old person. Like
Hmm.
I've seen people, even me, I've been like, damn, what's this person doing? And then drive by and it's like a 78-year-old lady. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, bro, just chill out and
I was about to throw a
like
battery at your car.
chill out and nothing driving a car unless someone like initially like on purpose rams you is worth really like chill out on the road, y'all. Put
Dang,
some
I just
music
saw,
on.
my bad. I just saw somebody, um, I think that's Live Life. I think Live Life, copped one of the goon beams. Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up.
Nice.
Um, I've never even seen. I didn't know that you could even pay using that before. That's what's up. Um, dang, yo, y'all are buying some, bro. Thank you for all the support, man. Y'all are, see, this is why I got the best community ever, and realize that for all you guys out there, if you are purchasing any of the blue Goon Beams, you are supporting both DLD and Goon Beam with one purchase. So I appreciate you guys, all y'all supporting. Oh, and for the person that asked last time, this is the non-existent Goon Beam. This is the purple and pink EDC. This one's for my daughter. That's why it's not crazy bright. I mean, it's still bright, like
Nice.
for a 7-year-old to be running around with that flashlight. It's still bright, but it's dope. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the support. So what are you carrying nowadays? Well, we forgot to do the strap check. My
Yep,
bad. What are
yep.
you carrying?
So usually daily I carry the X Macro with the Icarus, 217 round mags, and a sling with some type of Glock pistol in it, either the dagger or my 45.
So
I
hold
always
on.
carry
So 365. My bad. Just real quick. So
yep,
365 appendix, and then you're like in a sling bag.
yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, which yeah, so 2 is 1 and 1 is none, and
Yeah.
sack full of mags and couple knives. I carry like I carry it with me everywhere because sometimes I'm at the gun store, but like I carry a bag with a bunch of tools in it.
Hmm.
Blue Loctite. Like I literally could work on someone's gun with just my bag, and that's just something that I've done
Oh,
for
yeah.
so long. It's come in handy so many times. I carry a bunch of extra batteries, whether it's for my garage door opener, because the same thing that I use for my garage door opener works in some of my optics.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I carry just a sling pack, appendix carry with the macro,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much all I could think of. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll carry my 300 blackout. I'll throw it in the back, but depending on where I'm going, I'll have some type of rifle in the car too. Sometimes.
Hey, Vanessa Kitty. I'm carrying I mean, it's a Shadow Systems. It's a Glock essentially. It's like the 45 size, so it's a 19x size, 17 round mag. So a Glock 17 size grip with a 19 size muzzle, and I got a weapon mounted light, and I'm rocking leather. You know what I'm saying?
What holster is that? I keep meaning to ask you that.
This is the most effing comfortable holster in the world.
It looks like it.
So
It looks like the leather's like butter soft.
Bro, it is all American made, excluding the magnet, which unfortunately neodymium magnets come from Chicom only. So this is my 43X holster. Okay. So this is the same company. It's JM4 Tactical. Here, let me take this down so you can see. Thank you, Live Life, by the way. I appreciate you. Hey, Geisler frame, dagger slide, DLD barrel. Yeah, appreciate it. So this is a JM4 Tactical, and they their holster systems have magnets. Not all of them. They do have non-magnet holsters too, but like regardless of what you're wearing. So let's say I'm like right now I'm literally wearing sweatpants, right? I can throw my Glock 43X with 21 rounds in it in the sweatpants, or if I'm wearing jeans with a gun belt, I can still do the same thing. The magnets are crazy, like
strong.
Yeah, like let me see if I got something heavy. I mean, I got this Microtech here, but like I could literally dangle the gun off of this magnet, right? And the dope thing about these is that they go down, and instead of like because I'm a big dude, I don't want to have a gun like jabbing into my gut all day. So this holds the gun super low. Yeah, so literally your pants go all the way up to the top of this holster.
Nice.
And then I just cant it slightly so the grip is sticking out. But then since I got the 20 rounder in there, it's sticking out a little more. So like I can still, I'm sub 1 1/4 with this all day. And it's just crazy comfortable. So I can bend over with it, run with it, hop a fence, whatever I need to do. And this is going nowhere. So I hit him up and I was like, bro, that is hands down the most comfortable holster I've ever worn. I wish I could have one because I didn't see it available that would fit a Glock 19 and a P80 and a dagger and whatever with a red dot and a light. He was like, I got you. I'll make it for you. So he literally made this joint super wide. So I can't fit like a TLR in there, but I can fit a TLR 7 alpha or a thinner optic. It's about the width of the gun, and it's got the same magnet on it, right? And it's cut for a red dot. So the red dot is just kind of exposed, and it's got this little flappy part, but it protects your gut from the gun, right? So it's like the gun has kind of been smashed.
So he doesn't sell that one.
I don't think so, but I mean, at this point, with like how many times I've told him like, yo, I love this holster, like, so I got a bunch of P80s, and if I want to, I could grab a P80 with a TLR 7 sub, TLR 7 alpha, to like whatever, some standard TLR 7, and I could throw a P80 in this, a dagger, a Glock, whatever.
So if you can tell Goonbeam, we're all waiting for him to come out with a TLR 7 footprint, even if it's the old one with the shitty buttons. We'll probably still take that.
It may already be being worked on.
Nice.
I'll say that. And you could imagine that Streamlight, I mean, I used to fuck with Streamlight super hard until Goonbeam changed the game.
For sure.
Their little bitch ass 500 lumens will be nothing compared to what Goonbeam is going to come out with.
You know it.
And Blade Boy, this is for you. Blade Boy, I picked up a Dirac Delta -2. This is the Microtech. This is the whatchamacallit, the John Wick Microtech. I think this one was in like John Wick 4. All blacked out hardware, blacked out button, blacked out blade. This thing is nasty. Dude, the tip is like so, it's just crazy. And I'm not usually like the Microtech guy. I actually carry attack knives more than I carry a Microtech or a cold steel blade or something like that. But what kind of blades do you carry nowadays?
I love my Benchmade dagger with the ring on it, straight blade. That's like my favorite because I can wear EDC. I could throw it on a kit. I could pretty much keep it with me everywhere.
You
And then
could
I
throw
just
it in
have
your
like a
waistband or your
yeah,
pocket or
yep. It
yeah,
looks like a set of keys, really, just right there. So it's like I
yeah.
love that thing. And then I just carry like a spring assisted Kershaw, like a smaller one on my other side.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, those are my two go to. And then mainly I buy like bigger knives for my kits and stuff. Those are pretty much
Mhm.
the two knives that I have. I have some other stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Whoop says Magna Cut Kershaw. Yeah, everyone's going to M390 Magna Cut. I I'll even rock the little
oh
OTF
yeah.
box cutter if I got to. I actually use that literally every day for like utilitarian stuff.
Have you learned to keep your extra blades under your tongue all
Of
day?
course, that's what I do.
That's how you do it.
I'm just kidding. You got to keep them, in the sides, right? Like,
Gotcha.
no, yeah, I couldn't picture myself actually carrying a razor knife as like anything other than like you know, a tool at the house to grab. But yeah, if you needed to, I don't know. It may hold up
Work.
to at least
Some
a good
slicing.
gash. Yeah, a good gash or two. I'll tell you what, I know a dude that I grew up with that got opened up with a razor knife at a Walmart and literally gave him like a buck
I
50.
was gonna say if you get that right into the cheek and rip
Mhm.
down,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you'll be the Joker for the rest of your life. So
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? That was the one moment, like literally the one moment that he didn't bring his gun into the store.
mm,
Where another dude came on the show and shout out to him for coming on and being real and vulnerable and telling the truth about his encounter. Um, he would always when he got in the car, plug in my laptop real quick. When he got in the car, he would take out his gun because it was uncomfortable, right?
mhm.
And he's actually in Florida too. He lives not far from Rich, and he carried a Glock 22 full size. I think he was like a Gen 2 40 cal, and he would get in the car, take it out of his waistband. He would, as he called it, Mexicarry his Glock, and he got in his car, took his gun out, put it in the glove box, and he was just running up to his fiance at the time.
Oh, I heard this story.
You heard it?
Yeah, she was getting man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she was getting assaulted at the time by two men, and he had no idea. And he was about to bring his gun,
Mm,
but he was like, "Oh, I'm just running up there for a second." And he's like, "Oh, well, I shouldn't leave the car running with a gun in the glove box, so let me take the gun out of the glove box, throw it in his waistband." He's like, "Well, fuck it, let me turn off the car, right? I guess I'll lock it up then, right?" Like it's for everyone out there. Like if you've ever had that brief moment where it's like, "I'm just walking in the store, right?"
yeah.
Or "I'm just doing this," or "I'm just doing."
I
Don't
think this is why appendix carry is king
yeah,
at this point because you're in and out of the car. It don't you put the seatbelt underneath it, put your
yeah.
shirt over the seatbelt, and that's it.
See, I'm too big for that shit. I'm so my when I sit down, my gun is literally like this in my like in my pants, to where
Yeah.
I would
And you're a
actually have
righty?
to lean back. Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
I've also trained like a motherfucker, like leaning back, grabbing it, and coming out with it.
Mhm.
Quick enough. I mean, I don't know if I was involved in an accident, like could it jam back like into my hip or something, like possibly, but it's positioned differently from like where typically like a more normal sized dude
Yeah.
is having it like up against their abdomen.
Yeah, I like appendix carry and I like it up high, like belly button, so that way when you bend, it's all above that area.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm not a small guy. I mean, I'm like 6'1", 240, 245.
yeah.
And I like it there. I
Maybe I
like
just wear my pants too low. I don't know.
yeah, you gotta bring the pants back up, bro.
Yeah, man. I guess it's not 1995 anymore, right?
Mm-mm.
But for the people in here that hadn't heard the story, the dude, well, real quick, for those of you out there that have had that, like, those fleeting thoughts of like, oh, should I just leave the car running? No, or should I just go in without my gun or whatever? the reason your mind is hitting you like that, like, oh, I should put the gun back in my waistband. First off, you should never disarm yourself ever, because wherever you go, there you're going to be, right? Like it's on your body for a reason. Because if all else fails, if you can't get to your car with your trunk, with your rifle, with your kit, with your whatever, or your bag has your gun, or you are there and you have your gun with your gun and your backup mag and your blade and your flashlight and your pepper spray, whatever the fuck all y'all carry, you are with you all the time. Okay, so always keep your shit on you. But it's uncomfortable, Dark. I don't give a fuck. You know what else is uncomfortable? Dying. Just saying. Sorry. Anyway, so the reason you're getting those fleeting thoughts is because it is your brain like double checking, like just do it. Just follow your gut, right? Don't
Mhm.
You could live on the edge, but don't live on the edge of death. Like that's
So I don't mean to cut you off, but real quick, I
okay.
have, after carrying an appendixing for as long as I have now, for
Mm-hmm.
4 years, maybe 4.5 years. I like, when I leave the house, I don't leave the house in sweats ever, sandals ever. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a belt, my knives, my appendix rig, my belt,
Mm-hmm.
no sandals, shoes, because yeah, is it extra? And is my wife always like, why you gotta get ready every time we just want to ride over here? I'm like, look, I'm responsible for everybody. I'm responsible for myself. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it like different? Yeah, but it's like, I mean, it's worth it to me. I feel
Yeah.
like if you're a grown man, you shouldn't be coming out your house in sweatpants and flip flops no more. If you're a grown ass man
Yeah.
protecting your community, then show up ready.
Yeah, I'll be real. I'll still go out and like I'll run errands and shit with like sweatpants and shit. But I'll also say this: 23.5 hours a day, I always have my gun,
Hmm.
my secondary magazine, my knife, at least one knife, my goon beam, and my hot sauce.
So
Always.
will you wear
I
shoes
sleep
with
in
your
it.
sweats?
Always wear sneakers. Always.
Always.
Always. I won't leave the house with like, I mean, there have been occasions where I go out like with like Uggs on and shit, but they're the Uggs that like I got soles in them bitches. Like I could
Yeah,
stomp a mofo with them if I wanted to.
cool.
But almost always I'm putting sneakers on, because
For sure.
if I gotta run, if I gotta do whatever, if I gotta punch, kick, fight,
I mean, it's one of the things that we all think about. Like, if you're just going to run errands
hmm
and someone's popping off at the grocery store,
yeah,
or like, you just want to be as ready as you can be without making your life totally uncomfortable, for
yeah.
sure. But
Dude, before I carried on body in my house all the time, like I remember when my wife would be like, "Hey, can you go check the mail?" I'd be like, "Yeah, all right." And then I go up to the room, and then I grab this, grab this, grab this, grab my gun, put it in my waistband, put the extra mag in there, put that. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You asked me to go get the mail. I'm getting ready to go get the mail, right?" And then I finally was like, "Dude, you know what the real what really kind of like tipped me over." And then my bad, y'all. I promise I'll get to the story, because most of y'all probably heard it, but there may be some people out there that hadn't. Um, I realized that I started seeing videos of like footage inside of homes where a dude was sitting there with his family, and like two, three, or more dudes kick down the door and come in, and they're armed. And I see like the dude's wearing like a gun shirt. And I'm like, bro, you're not armed. You're not. And I pictured myself in that situation. I said, okay,
absolutely.
if this happened, like if my family room being right next to the front door, okay, if me, my wife, and my daughter are chilling there, laying back, watching a movie, whatever, and just without you even being able to realize that, I think I heard a voice out there, just poof, door kicked open, right? Would I have to make the decision to leave my wife and daughter, to go arm myself, to leave them alone with maniacs, if I was lucky enough to get away, by the way,
Hmm.
to then come back and put in some work while I left my wife and daughter alone for 30 seconds, 60 seconds? You know how much bad stuff could happen in even 10 seconds,
Yeah.
15 seconds? But then it was like, oh, well, I'll just put another gun safe by the fuck that. No.
Yeah. Just
I,
keep it on you.
Oh yeah, always keep it on you. I will always have
Me
a
too.
firearm inside my waistband, always, all the time.
Always. Me too.
Literally when I sleep, y'all. I am not joking. Strap check me in the middle of the night. I will literally, with my camera, be like, whoop, and I will show y'all that I am strapped in my bed comfortably,
Damn.
straight up,
Chambered in the bed?
chambered in the bed in my way. I don't change it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I mean, I don't know. Is that irresponsible? I guess I'm not like,
I mean,
like,
I think as long as it's within arm's reach in
mhm,
the bed, I think you're solid in the bed.
yeah,
Like because either way, if you grab it on the hip or you grab it right here, I mean,
yeah,
unless you wake up and they're just on your face, which is like,
yeah. I
hopefully
mean,
you have some damn protocols to make sure that doesn't happen to dog or alarm system or
yeah,
something.
something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only wear high heels when in meetings. I keep a pair of hiking shoes nearby. What? Y'all always have some crazy side conversations. I sleep with my Glock Crocs on. If I'm sleeping, do not approach ever. Yo, that's how my mom,
Shit.
man, my mom, if you touch her while she's sleeping, she will wake up and like body you. It doesn't matter. It takes her like a full 30 seconds to realize who you are or were. It's yeah, don't do that. Or tickle her. Good God. But yeah, I mean, I think that if I'm able to set up my system to where I can comfortably and securely carry a handgun in my waistband, even in, whether jeans or sweats, and they're like real. Like, look, I know y'all are gonna give me shit, but they're Lululemon sweatpants. They're very, very durable. Okay. Look, I'm not the consumeristic type of guy, too.
Yeah,
Like
so
I,
having not me that wears Lululemon, but someone extremely close to me.
yeah, I
They
could
are
guess that.
lifetime guaranteed. So if you get any tears in them, you can always send that they will replace your sweatpants for the rest of your life.
Dang, I had no idea. I wouldn't have bought fucking 5 pairs of these things, man. Dang. But yeah, I mean, they're solid, and yo, the waistband on them is no joke. Like the retention on it without tightening the shit is tight. And then, the magnet on top of that, like it's solid. Like I could literally say, you know what, I'm in the mood for a run and just go start running. And I don't have
Nice.
to feel like it's gonna pop out or anything. Like, um, but it's comfortable too. Like it's not in my way. It's not, like a problem, I guess. So
For
I don't
sure.
know. I think eventually, like, because every so often, like we kind of change something in our system, and then it's like, well, if I change that, I need to change this. If I change my belt, I might need to change to this or that, and it's so many things that kind of get reevaluated over time. But this has been the best system, and I think the longest running system, where I didn't feel like when I get home I have to take my gun out. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Keep that thing on you, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what about your rifles? I know we're already rolling like 2.5 hours in, but you still got a few minutes?
Yeah, shoot. How long you want to go, bro? I'm good. I'm chilling.
What about your rifles? What are your like go-to setups?
Yeah, I mean, I have an 11 and a half that I love. I love my 11 and a half. I have a 16 setup that I love. I really love my Ruger S-FAR. I know there's a lot of videos out there, people having problems with theirs. Um, but my 308 rifle is like 7 pounds
Mm,
with a 1-6 on it. And I haven't had any hiccups since that break-in period.
mhm,
Um, I have a chest rig that I can rock with my 308 with 308 mags on it. Um, I have a 7.5 inch 300 blackout that I like for like pretty much home defense, or that's kind of my go-to like around the house, or if I'm going to take something in a bag.
mhm.
Um, let's see, that's all I got.
What's your 11.5 inch? Like what kind of upper and stuff?
So besides the Ruger S-FAR, I built all my guns because I go to the store, I hop in the back, I use all their stuff. So like I
Mhm,
build everything out myself. But my 11 and a half is a ballistic advantage barrel. It's a AT3 tactical rail.
mhm,
It was a full arrow the Arrow Atlas S1 rail, the real skinny one.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I loved it, but I ended up putting in a little PEC unit on it, and I
Mhm.
needed full rail space. So I switched the rail out. So the upper is Arrow Precision. The bolt, I forget what the bolt is. It's titanium nitride. I have a nickel boron, like actual bolt that goes in the titanium nitride carrier.
Mhm.
I just have a Rise Armament trigger.
Mhm.
Um,
Those are pretty good. Those are crisp triggers.
yeah, I like it. I mean, I've never had any issues with them. I
What's
actually
the
have
upper
Rise
and
and
lower?
everything. The upper is Arrow Precision, and the lower is
Okay.
just a PSA lower.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think, even though like I talk all the time about some of the higher end guns that I got. I mean, I got a bunch of PSA guns, and some that I literally put together with like a PSA upper. Like I think earlier along, when like the assembly phase, I mean, I would put together a lower, and then I would, you know, get an upper, like come across a cheap upper or a deal on PSA. But I've used a bunch of PSA stuff. I've also purchased stuff for PSA and then taken it apart and then put it
yeah.
together using different shit. And then, but I mean, honestly, I haven't had a lot of, lemons from PSA at all. Most of my shit is Franken builds,
Mine too.
I talk about it all the time, but my go-to right now, even with the Geisley Super Duty, which, y'all are gonna give me shit. I still have not taken that thing to the range yet, but I will once I, get through this Shadow Systems test. Um, the 10.3-inch 5.56 that I got right now is I didn't want to, make it very Mark 18 CQBR ish, but I wanted the 10.3-inch barrel. So it's an LWRC lower with the SB Tactical PDW brace, which I need to change that shit out. I just need a standard SBA3 on it. Um, and it's a BCM. I got a BCM stripped upper with a BCM BCG and bolt and a Colt 10.3-inch barrel with a Midwest Industries handguard and an AAC SDN6 30 cal suppressor and the Cyclops 1X prismatic scope optic thing and with the ACSS reticle. That shit's been solid, bro. That I got a hair over 10, probably 10, 11,000 rounds through it, almost all suppressed. And that thing has been a beast.
Could I show just an upper? I
I think
think
so.
that'll.
I wouldn't show the whole upper, but
I got you.
I'll
So I'll
show
show
like
like this used to be PSA upper, and I ended up basically changing the brake,
mhm,
the rail. So really, the upper receiver and the barrel are the only things that I didn't change. And I never had any issues with it cycling, so I didn't change the gas system, the gas block, and everything.
mhm,
That's all been the same. So like, I just changed the brake, changed the rail,
yeah.
and that's my 300 blackout. And man, that thing has been awesome.
See, that's one thing I don't currently have right now. I do not currently have a 300 blackout, and I used to, but I don't know. I went on this kick where I was like, nice. I was like, you know what? I need to. I called it the armory concept, where I'm like, all right, every single thing that I have needs to be 5.56, needs to take standard, Stenag 5.56 mags, and
Mm-hmm.
but I've gone past that point to where I'm like, I need X amount of rifles for X amount of dudes and my family and friends, and we'll call it like a small unit, right?
For
And
sure.
after that, like you can get whatever you want. You can get like whatever caliber, whatever, barrel length and whatnot. But I definitely do need a small 300 blackout.
I would say that's one of the things I was talking about in the turkeys live just now. Is
Hmm.
like this is a 7.5, and the break on it's probably like an inch and a half,
Hmm.
and it's like I have a law folder on it, but it's still like I need like a full backpack with nothing else in it to carry it.
Yeah.
And my boy has a 5-inch, and I feel like the 5-inch is kind of
Is it a
maybe
5-inch AR?
5-inch 300 blackout.
Yeah.
The
See,
barrel's 5-inch.
I'll be honest, man. I'm really, really tempted to just find a way to get the Rattler because it
Yeah,
is just so
it's
small,
perfect.
bro. Yeah, it's so small. It gives you a 5.5-inch barrel with a 1 in 5 twist. You're getting one full rotation of a 300 blackout before it leaves the barrel, and it's like, man, that's a good setup, you know?
Yeah, I think all the Rattlers in
Yeah.
any caliber is just that's my favorite thing that they make is the Rattler.
Dude, if you look around, man, I when they first came out, they were like 32.99. Like they were like, at least in my area, they were stupid expensive, but they weren't available. Like you couldn't get them like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally they were like dropping at like 25 something, then 22.99, then 2 grand, then 19.99. Bro, one of my local shops was like, "Yo, we'll hold one for you for $1,600."
Ooh,
And I was like, "Oh shit, like dang," you
yeah,
know? And he's like, "Take all the time you want. You want to take a couple months to pay it off, no big deal." I was like, "Yo, you're making it too hard for me."
bro, just bring them like 5 P80s complete.
Yeah, right. Dude,
Appreciate you guys.
I just don't have any 300 blackout at all. Any. Even the
Yeah,
300 blackout I had before, when ammo went crazy at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cake off all that shit." So
I
I
mean, a
sold
lot of
most of the
people
ammo.
say 300 blackout's expensive, but I just feel like they mean the training ammo.
Yeah,
Like it's hard to find because like when you start buying high-end ammo, like if you're like buying 77 grain 5.56, which that's what I've been trying to stack,
yeah,
and even like 9 mil, like 9 mil is supposed to be cheap, but it's like when you're buying the best defense rounds, dude,
yeah.
they're not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what like I stocked up on a lot of 115 and 124 grain FMJ,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like if shit gets really bad and I go through. I have years of jacketed hollow points from like just save and save and save and save
Mm-hmm.
and every now and then, bro, I found these deals where like you can get a case of federal where the same projectile as their BPLEs. Um, so like this for an example, this is a 9 mm BPLE. Okay. This is a plus P plus 115 grain bonded jacketed
Nice.
hollow point. But they make these because these are super expensive, they're hard to find. But they basically make the same exact thing, but instead of being plus P plus, it's just standard pressure. And every now and then, I think I got a case of them joints for like 40 cents, something like that around. And that was
Nice.
right after the Israel shit happened in October. So
Yeah.
like it wasn't too crazy. And I think me and my brother split that one.
Yeah, I mean that's the key is like you can stack the cheaper stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like you only really want to dig into that if you're just for training or shit hit the fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I jokingly called the FMJs 2 for 1, but like for real, y'all, like it's no joke. To give you guys an example,
I guess that makes green tips 3 for 1.
green tips go through a lot, but I one of my NDs that I had was with a green tip out of a 20-inch barrel, and that it did less than I thought it would have, but it still did a lot. They usually break into 3 pieces, and you'll have 2 pieces of a jacket and a core blowing through you at 23 to 30 to 100 feet per second, depending on the barrel length we're talking about. It just would disintegrate. It's messy. But the what was I saying?
Two for
So
ones.
yeah, the 2 for 1s, the 2 for 1 discount, aka the Full Metal Jacket. So a friend of mine, a guy I know, I've known for a very long time. His son recently got shot. I shared the pictures, I told the story, and all that stuff. Well, of course, much like anything else, later on, more of the story comes out, which maybe I'll share that on another stream. Um, let's just say he was the victim, but he was kind of the victim of finding out. Come to find out that he did beat the dude's ass initially, and then he got jumped, right? He got beat up by the kids, and he ended up stealing the dude's girlfriend that he beat up, that got him jumped, right? And then he saw the dude again. He told him, every time I see you, I'm going to beat your ass, right? Saw him again, chased him, ran after him. The dude got away, right? Well, I guess in between this time, he started carrying a gun. And I was told that the guy tracked him down, came to him, found him at his house, walked into his car, rolled up on him, blam. Well, that's not what happened. What happened was he found the dude and then was going to beat his ass again. And the guy was like, not today, bam, and just shot him. So, how time tells us the truth. So anyway, what happened was when he got shot, regardless of all that, thinking from a ballistic standpoint here, when he got shot, he put up his hands like this. 9mm full metal jacket, went in here, exited here, turned his hand into barbecue chicken like that, and then exited here, went in because he was like this to his shoulder, okay? Went through his shoulder, exited out here, and then re-entered through his collarbone, and then went through his torso and his esophagus and landed behind his esophagus a quarter inch from his heart. And it's like it could have been really bad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes from one full metal jacket.
Yeah, that makes the JFK magic bullet theory just,
That's exactly what I said. I was like, yo, he got hit with a JFK bullet, bro. Straight up. But that's also, so the dude got arrested. The dude that shot him, dude got arrested. He got booked. He got charged and all that stuff. And he's probably going to be looking at like attempted murder charges, right?
Damn.
But like, the guy was like haunting his dreams. The dude was like harassing him. He already beat his ass. And yes, his friends retaliated and jumped him, but he was on the ground when that happened. The dude tried to beat his ass again, and he had to run and all this stuff and started carrying a gun. And so in his mind, I think he was like, yo, I am protecting myself. But matching ordinary force with lethal force is what got him in trouble.
It might have been the state, because where I'm
West
at,
Virginia.
Yeah, because where I'm at, man, if someone wants to cause you great bodily harm, then you can defend your life with. I mean, now I'm granted, if you're like pulling out a 50 cal and they're running back, then I think you're pretty, then that level of force. But I mean, a normal handgun in that situation, yeah, I mean, someone that's already beat your ass once, if they show up to your house, it's also on your property. Man, I could.
But they have to so it depends. I'm going to be careful about what I say here. It depends on the state. Everything depends on the state, right?
Everything.
But they have to usually, depending on the state, they have to put you in a position where you do fear for either loss of life or grievous bodily harm. And they have to show that they are willing and capable of committing the acts that you're fearful of. So if they have like a baseball bat and they say, I'm going to bash your fucking head in, absolutely go to work.
Or maybe if they've already beaten your ass before.
Yeah.
And they're showing back up.
But even then, it's like.
And I think a lot of it comes down to stand your ground law. So like if you're not, if a state doesn't have stand your ground law and like you're directed to flee, then you're going to be pretty jacked up. But if you have stand your ground law and it's like, I'm in my own space and someone's coming and they just want to cause you great bodily harm, then.
But is an ass whooping great bodily harm?
Yeah, I mean, have you've never seen an ass whooping that put someone in the hospital or broken jaws or concussions or comas? Someone hits you. I've seen fights where someone gets hit, their head hits the concrete, and they're done. Like,
yeah.
So I mean,
I guess it depends. I don't know. Maybe I
especially grown men. You got to remember, like in a boxing ring, you got weight classes for a reason,
Mhm.
right? And you got grown men now that the level that you're getting hit, it's not like a schoolyard fight where it's like a
Yeah.
couple kids, y'all got beef. But if you're talking about grown dudes, yeah, I mean, don't fuck around, y'all. People have guns, whether they go to jail or not. If you're shot up, what's the point of that? Like, stop thinking you're
Yeah.
tough. Like, people need to stop thinking they're tough and then be like, I can't believe they shot me. It's like, you thought you were tough. You're
Yeah.
not Iron Man. You're not bulletproof. Respect people. Like, that's comes to the point where, like, society, we should, like they say, an armed society is a polite society, because why? No one wants to get shot.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the lack of fear, especially that I'm seeing from like the West Coast, all these videos of these fools running up into like the Apple store and snatching every phone off the table, shoving them in their pants and running out, and no one does anything, which really who cares about Apple? But like I just saw one where a dude rolled up on like the priest at a Catholic mass and punched him in the face and took the whatchamacallit, the offering plate, like took the whole thing. And I'm like, no one did anything.
Yeah.
If that was my church and I saw a dude walk up on stage and punch my
It was a
pastor.
Catholic church, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Catholic, bunch of soft mofos. I'm just kidding. No, I totally joking.
We're not going to go down that road tonight.
So, regardless of what church it is, if you walk into a place of worship and you punch the head of the congregation in the face,
Yeah.
okay, and you take the offering,
The
like
whole
that,
congregation should mob you.
everyone, I was blown away. Now, granted, maybe there was more to the video because it was a short clip,
It
right?
was a short clip. Yep.
So like maybe they did stop him. Maybe one dude got up, right? Like what was that flight that crashed in Pennsylvania? Maybe
Flight
one dude
93.
got up. Yeah, and then another one was like, "All right, we'll do it." And then and then maybe a few people. Dude, I would not be able to even if I left every tool that I had on me inside my
Yeah,
pants,
no,
that
we're
dude would have
handling
been
business.
hurting.
Yeah.
He would have regretted every moment of that decision. He would have regretted planning for that day. Everything.
Yeah,
Man, breaking bones is actually pretty easy too, guys. I don't know if you know that, but like,
for sure.
you could literally prop someone's finger up like this and go and break their finger. There's a bunch of stuff you could do. Don't do it. Don't do it. But
Wrists break real easily.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
mean,
collarbones. Collarbones are like
easy.
super easy. A little elbow to a collarbone, dunzo.
Yeah.
But don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Yeah, and then the shards that break up. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, a bunch
This
of
region of your body is extremely strong. If you ever want to just knock it
Mhm.
into somebody, works
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah. It's also the part of your brain that is like for like
Concussions.
checking like cognition for like if you guys ever have you ever heard of what's it called the call of the void.
Haven't.
So it's like it's a psychological thing where if you've ever been like on the top of like the Statue of Liberty or like a building, the Sears
Oh,
Tower,
okay.
and been
I know
like,
where you're going. Yep.
man, I wonder what it'd be like if I just jumped off this shit. Of course you're not like actually
No,
planning
but
on
your
jumping.
brain almost like plays it really quickly in your mind,
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa.
So that
Let me
is
back, let me back away from this edge before that actually happens.
yeah. Or like I wonder if I just didn't push the brakes as I'm coasting down the highway or coming to this red light, or so it's your brain sending signals to your frontal lobe to double check that you're still sane, basically like an auto gating. Right, like
Yeah, I think it's like just a safety mechanism, like fear is a
yeah.
driver. So like your brain will assess threats or dangers really quickly
Yeah.
and process that so you can make better decisions. But like that's another reason why the Bible says keep thy eye holy for
Mm-hmm.
you know, your whole body will be filled with light. And
Yeah.
I think that's why they pump so much seditious stuff,
Oh yeah,
because I think that that can affect that mental processing
for
when
sure.
you desensitize yourself to, you know, stuff that's not real all the time, but your brain processes it as it is real,
For sure.
you know.
Especially in a culture where God has been intentionally removed. There is no fear of accountability of God. There is no fear of accountability from the environment. But then what they do is they take things like over the last like 3-4 years, the fear of accountability from society of not taking a jab or not wearing a whatever, like they totally flipped it. It's like, so you guys don't want to have accountability of your eternal
You
soul.
can beat up cops in the streets, not
Hmm.
have your papers, and get let out of jail the next day with no
Yeah.
bail.
But Red Dawn Readiness, how could a human being ever be illegal? I'm just kidding. Get that shit out of here. That shit's so stupid.
I could break it. You want me to break it down for
Yeah, for real. Like, I mean, I could pretty easily defend that right now. Like, w literally, like, by definition, these fools are all felons. All
Yeah,
felons, all of them.
all felons
There is not one illegal immigrant in this country that is not a felon by definition,
for
because they
sure.
committed a felony coming into our country illegally. But you know what? Let's just give them a little check card, a little, a Visa gift card with $2,200,
They
or
should
apparently
raise our
now it's three
taxes,
grand.
bro. They should totally make us pay them more money too, so we can
Yes.
give it to them to help them out.
We should actually
'Cause that's like,
volunteer at the border and keep a backpack full of our personal money and give it to them as they come over into this country illegally.
yeah,
That
that's
way
what we
they
should
feel
do.
safe and supported. Or
Correct.
we could all line up at the border with bolt rifles and bolt action rifles and I honestly, for real,
Yeah,
and this may be the very end of the live stream.
I'm with you.
um, I believe that we should showcase lethal force at the border.
I agree.
Who do you think would come over next? If a dude's like, all right, it's free, let's go. Like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah. Nighttime nods on
Yes.
operations.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. And they're just, yeah, I think we're at the point where we are literally getting invaded. There are
we are.
literal terrorists. There are, I mean, even it just playing the odds, okay? You're looking at least a 10%. If all of them were just normal people, you're looking at least 10% of them being bad people. Being the
Bro,
fact that they came over
they
illegally.
want to you want a suppressor. You're an American, you've been here for how long? You can't just do a background check and get a suppressor.
Of
You
course
gotta
not.
pay them money. You gotta wait all this time. You
Mhm,
gotta, and these people, right, can just walk right in there in our country, be given money, and
mhm.
it's like, dude, you don't even treat us that good.
Hell no.
You really don't.
Because they wanna replace us.
Yeah,
Because think about this, okay? Think of what we see tyranny as, which all of us are experiencing on a daily basis now. What we see tyranny as, imagine if they take thousands and thousands and thousands of people each week and
yeah.
they bring them from places where they are experiencing true tyranny, beheadings in the street, hanging people off bridges, and they bring them over here and they allow
They're
them
like
to come
10
in.
round magazine, great.
Yeah, they're like, shit, that's all. This is tyranny. This ain't tyranny. Like, this is nothing. And then
Yeah,
they can literally have their way
for
with,
sure.
replacing us. And then,
I don't know if it was within 12 months or 1 month, but they said that there were more illegals that came in than births.
sorry, say that one more time. I bet I had a message I didn't see.
There were more illegals that came in. I don't know whether it was the last 12 months or just 1 month, but there were more illegal immigrants that crossed the border than there were children being born in America.
You know what? It does not. I wouldn't put it past our current situation that not be true. I mean, I think it was like every second, like 2.5 or something like that. Like under 3 children are born. No, I think that's the world. So yeah, I mean, it could be because we're talking like what, like 14,000 came over like last week or something like that. I mean, that's insanity, dude. It
And
is
then
completely unsustainable.
Dark, what happens if we go into World War III and they have a draft and they take a whole generation of real Americans and ship them out while they're bringing these ones in?
Yeah.
The replacement would be complete at that time.
Let me take it a step further. So let's say there's World War III, and let's say they can't conscript all these illegal immigrants. There's no way for us to track them like ghost guns, right? They have no serial numbers. So we could only take these, red-blooded military age male patriots, right? And then let's say that we take them and we ship them off to wherever, right?
Yep.
And then some data is leaked, and then some intel is given to the enemy where they can wipe all of us out.
Mm-hmm.
There's some, bro, let me tell you what, I will absolutely openly rebel against the draft. I will
For
I
sure.
can just see what they're trying to do. I don't know what direction they're going to go, but I absolutely know that, and I say this all the time, if you are like us and you are a military aged male, even male or female, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you are military aged and you are of the mind of freedom, independence, and liberty, and you are armed, you are the enemy, okay? Your government hates you and wants you dead.
Absolutely.
That's it. So,
And they will go to any lengths necessary to get the job done.
yes, dude, I'll say this. Okay, y'all know we love us some Risky Krisky. Okay. Bye Vanessa Kitty, bye Ting Ting. Um we love us some Risky Krisky, okay? And he said something, and we've said similar things here. We've had similar conversations, but the way in which he said it was beautiful. He
Beautiful.
said, at this point, at this day and age, at the time it was 2023, but where we are right now, the people that are making these moves have committed treason. They have committed mass murder. They have committed genocide. They have planned health events. They have done all of these things.
Not even mentioning the children and all that side of things.
Of
So
course,
when
they have openly allowed an invasion to take place. What is the penalty for almost every single thing that we just mentioned?
the gallows.
Yes, the effing gallows, the guillotine,
Yes.
death, literal death. They cannot stop. They cannot stop at anything. They must complete the mission.
Yeah.
And sometimes the agenda, because they just kind of take things as they come, sometimes the agenda is sped up. Sometimes we feel like, whoa, things are rapidly changing. This is crazy, because they just kind of have to make these Hail Marys and make adjustments. Dude, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if I would ever believe that mostly white males, okay, so for everyone out there like, oh my god, he's a fascist, racist, whatever, mostly white males that are military age, that are armed, that those people that believe in the Constitution, that believe in our country, that believe in freedom, independence, and liberty, that are armed, would be the new domestic terrorist. That if you've ordered firearms, ammo, and Bibles, that you are literally put on a governmental watch list. I never, ever would have believed. Well,
Really.
I probably would have believed it, but
I was gonna say
I
when they
wouldn't.
passed the Patriot Act, I knew that it was for patriots.
Yeah,
They called it the Patriot Act because they eventually were gonna use it against patriotic Americans.
yeah.
So
It's crazy, man.
it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy, y'all. But stick together. I say it in mine chats all the time. Get your groups, prep up, stick together, train your butt off.
Yep.
We
The group
should
is
all
probably the
really be
most important thing.
valuing. Yeah, we need to value each other hardcore right now, y'all. Like
Yep.
people that are your friends, have those discussions with them. You know what I mean? Take chances. Like a lot of people in America we all want to we're a very individualistic society. People like to keep to themselves. People like to hide away in their house. They don't like to talk about things with other people. But like we got to come out of that shell and like really start becoming a group of Americans instead of just a bunch of voices that are all scattered.
I agree. Yeah, we've basically come to a point where we're just existing, and everyone's become isolated. And I think part of that was programming as a result of the coof. And we really need to, program ourselves out of that and getting your group, your local group that can communicate quickly without comms. But of course, getting comms and all that stuff is important too. But having a group that if Ish pops off, that you could have 6 dudes all together, like, okay, what's going on? What do we do? Right.
Yep.
And no, like we talked about this, like 6 dudes is not a group of 6 dudes. 6 dudes is 6 dudes, 6 wives, 17 children, 6 adults,
Yeah.
14 dogs. Like it's a big commitment just to have 6 dudes.
And I feel like 8 is the ideal number.
Yeah,
Because you got 2 teams of 4 when you have 8. That's the only reason why.
A minimum of 6
I agree.
is important. I mean, go as big as you want, as long as you can scale it. It's got to be scalable and duplicitous. And some people may be saying like, "Oh my goodness, are you guys saying to build a militia?" Yes, that's exactly.
We are the
what
militia.
we are. Yeah, we already are. It exists within us, but it's been taken from us, like psychologically taken from us, and yeah, things have been crazy. So I think, and you said you have chickens, we didn't even get to hit on that. I'm sorry. So
No, yeah, bro, we having a good time.
Yeah.
We're touching on a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I built my entire chicken coop. If y'all have ever heard of Ghost Prepper and Backwoods and Prepping, go check out their channels, because these 2 guys, they would do a live together. This was years ago, and I would, like, when they first started doing lives, it was a small chat. I could ask all the questions, and I'd ask questions about chickens. And so I asked, like, how big do I need to build my coop? What type of dimensions do I need? All this stuff. And we had a hurricane where I'm at, like, not that long ago, and I literally got all the wood from people's fences that got knocked down. They just were like, I'll just buy a new fence. I'm like, perfect. So I'd go through their trash, and I built my entire thing out of free reclaimed wood out of people's trashes.
Oh yeah. Reclaimed wood, that's where it's at. And for everyone out there, every single Polymer 80 pallet that I've had delivered is still chilling on my property. I'm just saying. So
Smart, man.
I don't have the space right now. In my last house I had all sorts of stuff growing. I had blueberries, raspberries, I had lettuce, I had cucumbers, tomato. Oh my god, my tomatoes, bro. You could literally pick them off and just eat them. Like,
those are the best.
Oh man, it's terrible. Yeah.
I think next I'm going to do rabbits, actually.
John Rice, and for everyone out here, if you guys don't know, John Rice, unfortunately, recently, last week, his house burned down. He lost everything. He was sending me pictures and stuff of like his rifle that he recovered from the fire. The lower wasn't even on it anymore. Like, I don't even know if it melted off or what. But he recovered a couple things from his firearm collection. Most of his ammo was spared, which is good. But when I say he lost everything in his house. He lost his truck. With the proximity that it was close parked to the house, totally roasted his truck. Everything is smoldered, melted, and just destroyed. And he lost everything. So we obviously here we want to take care of as many people as we can. Like when the shit happened with Craig Liquor, I passed his shit on to the GOA. With CRS, we help him where we can. With John Rice, he has to completely start over. So yeah, so let me pull this up here. I got let's see. No, that's the lazy roofer. Hold on. Okay, give us and go. So this is here right now, and some of you guys really came in and showed up big time, and I really appreciate you guys. You guys are going to have a huge impact on him kind of getting situated again, and kind of luckily he's able to stay with some family. But he's still got expenses. He still's got to get his shit, he's got to get back on his feet. So I dropped the Give Singo link there. So anything we can do to support each other, man, it helps a lot.
Yeah, bro. Support, bro. People need it, man. I mean,
yeah,
things happen, man, all over the place.
Especially in this day and age when everything seems so dark and so like, I don't know. I mean, things are changing rapidly. Things seem unstable. Everything's expensive. People are losing jobs. It's hard to keep a positive outlook. So that's why every single time we do one of these, I always close the same way of, be kind, live a life of care, compassion, contribution, all those things, because it does make a difference, right? It impacts everyone around you. It impacts you, and you can live a better life just by, kind of following those principles. So
Definitely, man.
but
I say this, Dark. The real revolution starts with our lifestyles and how we treat each other and what we're going to build. Like, we don't have to wait for the government to burn this place down before we start really coming together as like-minded people in a space. So
dude, that's the realest thing anyone has said on the show in a long time. That's huge. We don't have to wait for the government to burn it down for us to come back together as Americans and take care of each other. That's huge. I think so many of us are isolating, waiting for something bad to happen,
Yeah. I mean, once you feel like something bad is gonna happen, I mean, I feel like people are still like, yeah, but what if it doesn't? And I gotta think about my 401, and I gotta think about this, and I gotta, like, the founding fathers, they weren't thinking like that. It was about, what you tried me today, you're trying my rights today. And that's how they get us, this little by little thing where everyone's focused on their own future and their own this. And next thing you know, they're, scraping a little bit from that pile away while everyone's focused on the bread and circuses and their retirement, that people really don't. And I think they got us caught up like that with the way the system is. Like, people don't focus on today. They're constantly thinking about the future. But I mean, today, you never promise tomorrow anyway. And what can you do today to help? This is what I always say too with my children. Like, my parents' generation, they weren't thinking about like their great grandkids and how they could help them when they were in their 30s and 20s. They weren't thinking like that. And that's something I really try to focus on, is like, what can I do in my lifetime so that my great grandkids, because the elites, they think like that. They think generations out. And I'm not saying that you need to build a castle. I mean, a prepper castle would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
with some deuces on the corners and stuff. But yeah, I feel like that's the type of attitude we got to take, is like, dude, if it's like this now, what's it going to be like for, your grandkids?
Yeah.
So
honestly, I think as foolish as it sounds, I think that's why so many people are willing to sacrifice it all for where we are right now, because they're like, hey, you know what? If I would rather fight than my children or grandchildren fight, right? And I think that's an important that's an honorable virtue to have. And at the same time, your children and grandchildren, it would be more powerful if you were here for your children and grandchildren. So thinking like that is a way that you could kind of stack the odds against the tyrants.
correct. That's where I head with it all the time. Like, people are willing to give their life up and die for it, but sometimes they're not willing to just like step away from the B system, or like go live on land where, like, yo, let's go buy 20 acres. We'll split it up. I got 4, you got 4, you got 4. Let's build a community garden. Let's build a gun range over here. Let's put some livestock on this acre. And like, I'm going to give up my individualism. A lot of people don't want to give up their individualism. And that's what makes us so weak in my eyes, because if we're all, if someone wants to run up in your house, if the government just decides, hey, cut that one down, how much harder is it when you're in it? Go ahead and if you have to, like, people say, well, they could just Waco you. Well, you know what? That gets blasted on the news. How many times can they do that?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
and look what happened at Bundy Ranch.
yeah,
They were gonna Waco them, and the whole community was like, "Nope,
nope.
not
So,
today."
and then when we got things and platforms like this, if you're doing the right thing, you're not doing illegal stuff. You're saying, hey, this is the kind of thing we're trying to do as Americans. We believe in this, and you're not breaking laws. You're gonna have a lot of support, and
Yeah.
the more groups that do that, the better it is for our country.
I'll tell you what, if I ever randomly go live at like 4:30 to 6:30 a.m. or something like that, y'all know that something may be going down. I always felt that I'd be targeted or something like that, just because like, and I've done my best to live life as accordingly as possible, because I know. But look, if they want you, it doesn't matter if you're doing things legally or not. Like they're gonna find a way, you know.
They could
Um,
just hit you with a laser beam or something, and
Yeah, microwave your ass, like, it's
yeah,
done, or all of a sudden, all of your shotguns are 17.9 inches long, like like, really, bro? Come on, come on. It's I don't know, I think that, like you're saying, thinking more positively, coming together, building a community, it is the most powerful thing. The only reason that, all these elites can do the things that they do is because they have a powerful community and resources. So when people come together, build something, it positions you differently.
So just one other thing I'd like to add, little thought in my head, but like
Mhm.
I know when as a Christian, like you like to look, we all like to look at Christ as the example. But if you're gonna be in a group, Christ walked up to these guys and basically said, yo, follow me. And they left everything that they were doing. They didn't think about what's going to happen over here or what's going to happen to my bills or what's going to happen to my 401. They literally left and went and they knew and they followed what God wanted them to do. And I think that's what it's going to take. If we're all going to save anything, I really feel like that's what it's going to take. But that's just something I wanted to add.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate the real talk, and I think it's important to kind of have these conversations. Hey, James Kawasaki, good to see you, bro. Then is near beware. What's up, man? Um, yeah, but I think it's important, man. Like, of course, we're always gonna have the gun talk, the gear talk, and all that stuff, but it always gets back to like our core values and what we believe in, and the better people that we can be, right? Especially right now, I always say we're living in tumultuous times. Like right now is a better time than any time to get right with God, get right with your family. It's important that I say that, so I can know that I'm at least having like a little part on positively impacting as many people as I possibly can, and potentially saving even one person's eternal soul. Eternity is forever, right? So like it could be that if you hear every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, get right with God, get right with God, get right with God. And we read a book of the Bible the other day on stream, and this and that, and that we keep having these conversations. And then maybe someday that primes somebody for one day, their neighbor or friend says, hey, come to church with me. Right. Like, and
Mhm.
then boom, it's that moment could change your life. So just be open to things like
For
that, y'all.
sure.
That's that's all I'm saying. But anyways, closing out here, anything else you want to add? Any dad advice? Any, anything else like that?
Dad advice, man. Patience, be strong. Um, don't let the modern world and like being a soft, you're a male. If you're a dad, be a strong man in your house. Um,
Yeah.
Prep for your family. Make sure you think about their well-being, not just next month or next week, but you think about them in their whole life of that they're going to grow up one day and be in your shoes and how you can help them get to that point and what kind of life you'd like for them to live. Um, yeah, that's about all I could say about that, man. I'm in the thick of it. We've had like 3 in 3 years. So,
Mhm.
um,
Dang.
yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And, I hope everybody gets married and has kids, because if we don't do it, man, we'll be replaced. This country will never, if we're not popping them out and having the next generation, then someone else will be here.
Yeah,
And
that's our job. That's our job is to be fruitful, right? To continue the tradition. You know, pass down our values, our beliefs, our standards and expectations of who we choose to be. That's the most important thing. And also, like, the one thing I notice is that, like, even though, like, I've become closer to God than I've probably ever been in my life, um, spending more time and let me say this, it doesn't take a church to worship, right? Like, I totally get that anybody can have faith, be religious, and walk with Christ and all that, and not ever need to go to church. And I believe that, putting yourself in those situations and putting yourself in those environments is going to help you become healthier and become a better version of yourself, and become more Christ-like. But I started spending more time at the church, right? I started looking at what other things other than Sundays do they have, and looking at evening events, and you know what I found? Because I know I've been open. I've told people that I'm separated. We've hit a year, and we're likely getting divorced, which that's a whole thing in itself that I've had a difficult thing with. But it's happening, like, outside of me, right? Like, this is not something that I'm choosing, and I've fought for my marriage, and I've been ineffective in that. It's closer to abandonment than anything, right? So it's not infidelity, it's not anything like that, but it's still a messed up situation, because my daughter, man, it's terrible to go through this with my daughter, but it's the reality of what's going on. So um I was going up looking at events with my church and stuff, and I found this event, singles over 30. And I
nice.
was like, "Oh, what?" And, like, my church is very like, conservative. I dislike the whole right and left thing, but I don't know, maybe there's some shorties out there looking for a conservative Christian man, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, bro.
so I'll be
You
there.
know that men, we can have kids into our 70s.
Yeah,
So don't
bro.
forget, keep being fruitful, keep
Yeah, I will
multiplying, bro.
continue to be fruitful no matter what, man. I appreciate that, but,
Yeah, man. God bless you, bro. I hope that everything really works out in that situation. I have a daughter also, and
yeah,
I know that love and the kind of examples you want around her, and
yeah,
leadership you want to put in her mind. So
yeah,
I'll definitely keep you in my prayers, man. Because
I
any
appreciate that.
father with a daughter, man, you got a lot on your plate, man. So
Dude, I'll tell you, just the other day, she called me, and she was crying, and she was like, "Why can't we live together anymore?" And it's like, man, you wanna rip the heart out of a father's chest. First off, your daughter crying is like immediately, right? But then,
immediately,
when it's outside of your control and you still wanna do everything you can to honor her mother and never say anything bad or wrong about her, and also be like, "It's that bitch's fault," Like, of course, I would never, ever do anything like that. I've never even sucked my teeth talking about her. Like,
yeah,
it's a really, really delicate thing that, you know, it's not what I wanted, but it's where I'm at. So, but I also don't want to sound like the victim either, right? Like, both of us were at fault, are at fault. Um, but when the last conversation I've had with her about, um, potentially moving forward was, well, you're the one that has to change, not me.
hmm
I don't need to change. You're the one. Like, it clicked. Like, oh, so it's not a us thing. It's a me thing. Like that. The amount of growth you're limiting yourself to by believing that it's not you, it's only the other person. You are not guilty, so therefore you don't need to grow together. That's you. You need to go figure your stuff out and let me know if you're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. So
yeah,
I've straight up, I made the commitment that I have no intention of ever getting back with my wife ever. And I at the same time, I know that God can change hearts and change minds, and I
For sure.
also am not reserving hope for that. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, only you know that situation, So I'm way too far removed to give my 2 cents
Yeah,
about it, man. But all I can do is say I pray for you and that I hope good outcomes come out of it, That's the
I think
best
it
I
will.
can.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna be there for my daughter in every way that I can, and,
absolutely.
you know, everything else is, kinda out of my hands, you know? Yeah, my
For
bad, y'all.
sure.
I didn't mean to, jump in here with all that, but it's, just throwing it out there. Because I mean, it is something that's like, that I have, like, an internal conflict with, like, because I don't think that, divorce is the answer or an option, but,
For sure.
you know.
I mean, I think a lot of it, marriage is kind of like your life. Like you almost start life over when you
Mhm.
get married, and when you're a young kid, you do a lot of stupid things. So, like
Yep.
a marriage, if you talk to people who've been married a long time, they tell you like it gets better with time, and you got
Mhm.
to work on it. It doesn't come natural. You
Yeah.
got to put in work. So a lot of people is just like withstanding those storms. I remember one time we were sitting with my wife's grandfather and her grandmother, and we were engaged, and they were like, "Do you have any advice for them getting married?" And he basically said, "Get a good pair of walking shoes, and whenever you're upset, just go on a walk."
Mm.
And I probably should go on more walks than I do, and
Yeah.
not open my mouth as much as I do. But commitment and like being like you said, like you have to be moldable and be able to work on yourself. You can't just be like, no, I'm perfect and I never made a mistake. You have to be
Yeah.
like, yo, I'm sorry, I was an asshole, or
Dude, that's the thing, like, I've known her for a long time, right? And, in the 13 years that we were together, I have literally never heard her say the words "I'm" and "sorry" together in the same sentence. Like,
man,
that's how crazy it's hard when people get to that point where they're so self-centered and egotistical that it's hard to break that, but,
yeah.
I mean, there's, always potential that, positivity and growth can come from a negative situation, so just kinda gotta keep,
And I don't
keep
mean this to slight any women out there. God bless you guys. But like overall, in my experience, I do find that women don't like to take as much responsibility and tell themselves that they've been wrong or they've done this, because then they look at themselves and they feel like more bad about themselves. So I feel like they don't go down that road where like a man constantly from day one in your life, people will either say you're not good enough, or in your mind, you'll measure yourself up and be like, I'm not good enough. Like we're
Mhm.
better at being self-critical,
Yeah.
I think
They
than
can't
they
take
are.
criticism as well, they're definitely
Yeah.
not,
And
and
like
and
even if you look at the things where they're like, hey, rate yourself 1 to 10, they all say they're tens,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. So
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, I think, men have a different objective, logical look at things where they can step back and remove themselves and evaluate facts, information, and like what actually happened and say, I reacted like this. Upon reevaluation, I think that I've made some mistakes. Here are these mistakes. Here are things that I could do better next time. Girls are just like, Psh, I'm a strong, independent woman, like,
yeah,
but yeah, I, I think that shit's got, yeah,
we are definitely in the age of that for sure.
yeah, yeah. I'm a strong, independent woman. I drive Uber. I'm just kidding. But anyway, look, I appreciate you coming on, and
Thanks for having me, bro.
yeah, we had a lot of great conversations. And all you guys, show him some support. Go to his channel. It's Red Dawn Readiness, and subscribe to his channel. But you have an Instagram too, right?
No, I'm only on you. I tell you, no, I have
Oh,
no
that's right. No,
meta products.
yeah,
I do have an X. It's Red Dawn. I think it's either Red Dawn Ready 17.7. Hold on, I'll tell you guys real quick.
yeah.
Yeah, Red Dawn Ready 76 on X, and I don't think I have any posts right now. But I'll be building that up. But yeah, YouTube is pretty much the only thing I have. If you guys want to blast me up with some likes and some follows, I'd appreciate it. I'm like 800 away from monetization, which I'll probably be demonetized before I get to that point anyway. So,
Bro,
but I appreciate it.
I would encourage everyone to subscribe to your channel ASAP and help blow them up, help them get some watch time. And I forgot to share with you guys that I also recently got hit by YouTube again, and I dealt with a lot of constant strikes, constant. I mean, for nothing, right? Like for the most ridiculous stuff. But when I openly violate certain things, they don't do anything, which is weird. But I I did a stream like almost 2 years ago for Richard Hoffman of BWE Firearms, who was one of the best machine gun builders, Uzi builders in existence. And RIP Hoff, he was an incredible person. And I did a stream when he was still alive, but his wife had suddenly died just out of nowhere. Just she had a heart attack and died. He was recovering from cancer, which ended up, unfortunately, he lost his battle to cancer a while back. But they took down that video. They did not give me a steer, right? I don't even want to say the word, but they didn't give me one of those bad boy check marks. But they said that it was a scam. And I'm like, what? Like that now maybe like when we do like fundraising for people, maybe we should take them down later on, like after but I guess if the video was there and then maybe somebody checked it out and saw that the link was dead or something. I don't know. Whatever it was, like the fact that they did that and the fact like I don't care about me and my content. The fact is that it's like it was two great, like such incredible people, and y'all did that like that's so. And the thousands of people that would jump up and vouch for me and the like the validity of that GoFundMe, GiveSendGo, whatever it was, like it's super grimy that they did that. So
It's crazy.
yeah, just so you guys know, they're out there, they're targeting people, and they're definitely likely going to come back and target me. So I'm going to be doing some more stuff on the other site with the green R soon. So, but anyway, in closing, y'all, make sure you show some love to Red Dawn Readiness. Go hit up his YouTube. You do live streams as well?
I did my first live last night, and
Nice.
yeah, I finally kind of, after being on StreamYard a little bit, got used to it. I still need to figure out how to I'll probably get at you and be like, yo, how do I do an intro and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But
Honestly, everyone has like I had a viewer do my intro for me. He just did it
nice.
for me, like on
Kurt
his own.
24.
No, Swamp Dog, another guy who's got a channel,
Nice.
and then someone else helped me with this. Sport Brand did these logos, and then
Nice.
I can't take credit for like anything that I
Sick.
do, So maybe I could give us some people that could help you. I'm not,
Cool, bro.
but yeah, So in closing, let's make sure we support him. And anything else you want to close on before we get out of here?
No, man, I appreciate you having me, man. It was a great talk. You guys know I rock out with you guys in the chat all the time. Dark, I'll always be supporting you, man, as much as I can.
Yeah, I appreciate
And really appreciate the community, y'all.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. Not everybody, has a channel, wants a channel, and is willing to come on. So I appreciate you, being willing to come on. And guys, let's make sure we support the people that support us, right? Like I say all the time, like if you go to the link in the description, you go to the link tree, all the links that are in there are people that are like directly affiliated with us, the people that support us. So, Goonbeam, Gideon Optics, Tac Knives, Aegis Gun Care, the people that are all like supportive of the channel and of us and the way that we think. And I appreciate that, so we can keep our money in our community. I think that's really important. If you guys could go through, check out the link tree. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I just put that together recently, and I don't know why I'm like super proud of it, but anyway, check it out. And yes, the blue goon beams, which I think I dropped mine a minute ago. Yeah, My bad. The blue Goonbeam weapon mounted light and pistol light and rifle light are now available. They're on DLD hardware. They are in their own little category. Now I have it separated for like jigs, tools, merch, Goonbeams. So you guys can go on there. I only have 10 pistol lights and 14 rifle lights, and I don't know how long they're going to be there, but they'll be there for a while. I've already seen some people buy them.
I got my first Goon Beam last week. I don't know if you've seen. I did a review on it. Goon
Oh
Beam
yeah,
is the best light that you can get for the money, hands
hands
down.
down.
If you're even considering something else, don't, because Goon
Yep.
Beam is by far the best light on the market.
100% for the performance, for the quality, for it not blowing up. For it, I mean, you cannot. It is like cloud defensive and mod light quality for streamlight prices or less. You cannot do better than that. And dang, Rudy Finney coming in with a $30 super chat, bro. Thank you, Rudy. Jeez, man, look at you. I appreciate you, Rudy. You always come in like at the end of a stream, like, yeah, I've been watching. Boom. You don't even say anything during the chat, but I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all you guys for coming in and hanging out. And in closing, look, we're only as strong as our own standards and our own expectations of ourselves. And some of the things that I like to hold myself to are my little rules. Some of the rules I share with you guys. I need like a dark rule book, but some of the rules I share with you guys are in closing. Rule one, be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief little interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So just be kind. Rule number two is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Rule number three, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Thank you again, Rudy Finney. Appreciate all you guys. Yo, Red Dawn Readiness, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And
Anytime,
we'll
bro.
see you all on the next one. Peace. All right, everyone that's still here, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe we still got 35 people in here. Let me say this. I've been very, very, very serious about me working on my relationship with God and Jesus, and yeah, I don't know. I want to share that with y'all, right? Because that's important to me, and I know it's important to every other person too. But I don't ever want you guys to feel like I'm trying to shove it in your face or shove it down your throat. But I need you all to understand also how important it is to me. Okay. So I got nothing but love and respect for all y'all. And I think you guys know that. But anyway, do me a favor. You know what? I'll do this. I will go in a voice chat for a little bit tonight, just a little bit. So anyone that's going to jump in there, go ahead. You can get your boy Doc for a little bit. And on that note, I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.